Today I messed up by putting a nanny cam in my stepsister's room. Oh, God.
What are you doing, step bro?
How about some Just Neckbeard things? Oh, we haven't been there in a while. So let's see what we got here. How do you mess up this badly? Rock Solid posts a pic of two people at a gym. And the girl, it is a green text. See, I just can't get away from it. In green text says, "Did you look at my boobs just now?" How do you respond without sounding like a misogynist or a pervert? Dr. Diego Callero has the answer. "Did you just try to call me out on a biological instinct you're exploring worth a super stimulus for attention so you can secure resources without providing pregnancies?" She definitely was. And you called it out in the weirdest way possible. You can't just be cool about it, like, oh, I don't know, they're hard to miss. Maybe that's a little pervy. Maybe you do like a sidelong admit to it kinda sorta. Like, I was glancing at your boobs. I didn't look, though. You know what I mean? Then it could turn into something fun and flirtatious. But Dr. Diego, yeah, he tried too hard to try too hard. That's all I'm saying. Hey, a new thing that is gay for men to do just dropped. Fellas, is it gay to use toilet paper? If your girl proposes to you, especially during the Olympics, you're cooked. There's nothing more emasculating than a woman proposing. Let me ask you something there, fella. Are you married? I personally would prefer to be the one to propose. But this is her big moment, you know, equality's a thing. He seemed to be okay with it, so what the fuck not? You're like personally offended over another person's lived experience? Yeah, okay, buddy. See how that works out for you. Yeah, we're moving on. We can't control it. If girls who like girls can control themselves around women in crop tops, shorts, etc., then maybe the clothes aren't the problem. Friendly reminder. That was a semi-friendly reminder. A little accusatory near the end there, but what are you gonna do? The noble traveler comes in and says, "Girls don't got no stick that gets hard when stuff gets hard." You can barely form a sentence. This is who's swimming around in the gene pool with us, everybody. Another person, Hannah, jumps in here and says, "When that gets hard, that's a you problem, not ours, and particularly not women's. Go find a quiet place and use both your hands to fix that problem on your own." Both your hands, that's nice. Either presuming that he's large or telling him, don't forget to cup the balls.
Dude, that is not cool. You're crossing a line. You never do that.
This couple real good. You gotta get them in the action, you know? It's my boys down there. God damn it. She says, "None of us need to be a part of your solution gathering, thank you, no matter how we're dressed, no matter how we're talking to you, unless that person is consenting fully and freely. All of this hardness is a you problem solely and completely." Yeah, just flip it up in your belt and suffer through it like everybody else. What are you talking about? This is the male lived experience. I don't know if I completely agree with Hannah. There's something to be said about, you know, setting up expectations that'll never be met and taking advantage of that. And, I mean, Hannah has OF at the end of her name, and we all know what that means. So, yeah, you're taking money from simps, but don't act surprised when they expect some reciprocation. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we could have just left it at that, but no, this guy's gonna keep on talking and make me feel dumb for saying what I said. So, this woman says, "So that it gets hard doesn't mean you need to act on it." Lucas says, "Sometimes it just takes over." Oh my God. That does sound like a deep problem, doesn't it? I can't control it just takes me over. Well, maybe you need to consider chemical castration. That's the only thing that can fix this, as far as I can tell. You're not making a great case, Luca. I don't like that. I don't like that none too much at all. So we'll move on into something else that I probably won't like, and this is a post on Twitter from Cadillo Nuclear. "This chart was women's 911. Who made this chart? It has sexual market value 1 through 10, and then ages. And it seems like women have a peak at 23, and men have a peak at 36. Only at age 30 do they have comparative SMV, so you need to get in there and find your partner right then. Otherwise, it's all over for you. Because I made this chart, you see? It's from rationalmail.wordpress.com, and the fact that they didn't even pay for their own domain name really, really drives the point home for me. You're behind what you're saying here. Truth is that this is just his way of reaching 30 and being like, yeah, I haven't had anybody really like me yet. But that's okay, because by the time I'm 36, I'll have reached my peak. Except no, you won't, because the problems have been inside all along. Maybe one day I'll get it figured out, but probably not. This post didn't get ratioed anywhere near hard enough, by the way. Only 591 quote tweets. I got something to say about this. This next poster says, "Today I messed up by putting a nanny cam in my stepsister's room." Oh, God.
What are you doing, stepbro?
Just the title alone, I want to get off the ride. I don't think I want to participate in this at all. I, male 41, and my stepsister, female 18, have been family for around 2 years now. Her mother, 38 female, and my father, 67 male, got together after my mother's death. I have always had issues connecting with people, especially women, and my mother was the only female in my life, so once my father remarried to a beautiful new woman, I see where stepsis gets it from, with 2 kids. Stepsis gets my skin is crawling. I took it as a chance to get close to someone. I hate it. How do you choose to get close to them? By setting up a nanny cam in their room. My stepsis is around 5'4", which is a little taller than her mother, and has jugs big enough to drown a man in the desert. My, those are some rather massive jugs, aren't they? Why are we doing this? Anyway, I've always tried to get close with my family, 'cause life is too short, and they are all I have. But about 2 months into knowing each other, I started noticing little things. When it was the weekend and everyone was cleaning, she appeared to want to pick up a lot of things from the floor when I was behind her. She would seductively look at me when I would spark a conversation with her. Wow, she bent over to pick things up on the floor and looked at you while you were talking to her? That's ironclad, bro. You gotta go for it. I shouldn't be encouraging. This is horrible. What the fuck are you talking about? I finally mustered up the courage to ask her about this about 2 weeks after her 18th birthday. She said she didn't know what I was talking about, but she was giving me those F me eyes again, so I assumed she was playing hard to get. How about you just believe the words that come out of her mouth? No, I can see it in your eyes. My eyes just look like this. Please don't read into it. So I decided as the man in the relationship. Yes, the stepbrother, extremely old stepbrother who still lives at home. This has got to be fucking parody, man. This can't be real. As the man in the relationship, I made the first move and ordered a cheap camera on Amazon. When it arrived, she looked at me like she knew what I was up to. Yeah, guilty conscience. So I assumed she into it. What the fuck?
What the f*** is wrong with you?
Yeah, he's a psychopath. You're just presuming other people's thoughts like this? What are you doing? Valentine's Day was coming up, so I got her a stuffed bear with the camera inside of it to put in her room. One day when she was out for work, I snuck into her room and stood it up so it was pointed at her bed. God, this is the worst. I let it sit for about a week and then looked at the film. During the film, I realized that she was well matured with the thing that her poor bean went through. Dude, what? You saying you caught her flicking the bean is what you're saying? Or she named the bear Bean and just like dry humped it? I don't know what's happening here. I decided that I went long enough without access to the real deal, so I purchased some candles and rose petals and put them around her room. Dude, this is not gonna go well. I fucking hate this. I waited until she got home and walked into her room, and then I pounced. Oh my god! I hate this! It's worse than I could have imagined. I casted the footage of what I had recorded onto the television in her room so she could see what I had done. Oh, I hope they execute him. This is fucking horrible. When she walked in, she had a look of confusion on her face, but I assumed she was just keeping up the bit. You're a psychopath, you know that? I wasted no time to start to get handsy, but then she pushed me off. Gosh, I wonder why. This fat 40-year-old live-at-home do-nothing creep just pounced on her. In his own words. I hate it. Once again, I thought this was part of the bit, so I swooped in as if I was a hawk, and she was my prey animal. God. It hurts me so deep. I don't even have the words. I picked her up by the torso and put her on the bed to start mating.
My spine!
My spine is pounding for real, dude. Why you say it like that? When she started screaming for help, in the back of my mind, I thought of giving a safe word, but too late. Shrugging emoji. Fucking disgusting. I really, really hope this is all fake. Since I hadn't assigned a safe word, I was gonna continue until she yelled something that would have resembled one. What does that even mean? No, stop, don't. Those don't count. You gotta say something like, blue handkerchief, orange banana.
Now you touch it. You know what to touch.
Banana.
But she started yelling too loud, and our parents came through the door. Good. Thank God. They were furious with us. Us. And in the midst of explaining, she stuck all the blame on me. I had to explain what had happened, but they were disappointed in me for trying to pull something like this again. Again? What the fuck?
Done it again! You dirty bastard! You've done it again!
The plot thickens. I hate everything about it. I wish that they would have listened to my side of the story and saw the look she was giving me. TLDR, I messed up by misjudging how my stepsister felt about me. You fucking foul. I hate that's probably the worst one that we've read in a long time. In a very long time. I can hardly stand it, dude. How? How did you come to this conclusion? Just too much time in the goon cave on the hub, watching things like this. He's like, yeah, I totally saw that look that my sister gave. It's not a look. It's the look that a star gives to another. A blank SSRI stare. Slightly glazed over and soulless. I don't want to know what's going on in that house, because it's just... There's some pure evil. It's mostly emanating from this dude, but nobody in this household is truly unaffected by the miasma. You know, a 40-year-old woman dating a 70-year-old man, dragging her then 16-year-old daughter into the situation. Does the fact that he waited till 2 weeks after her 18th birthday make it better? No, because he tried to force himself on another human being. Why are we not calling the police or something?
911.
Officer, right there. Come on in, fellas!
Again, I say the only prescription I could possibly come up with is chemical castration. Maybe possibly we could get in there and ventilate his skull. That'll fix it too. I gotta move on. This one literally made my skin crawl the entire way. I don't know how we'll top it, but we'll try. A beard has infiltrated us. A Legbeard's response to a Neckbeard take. If you're a woman and you don't want men to notice you in the gym, maybe wear more than just your underwear. Or men could just gouge out their eyes as Jesus recommends. Yes, either of these solutions is just fine. Completely equal. I see no problems. I gouged my eyes out a long time ago. Best decision I ever made. Do you realize how little cringe is actually absorbed when you poke out your ocular units? Whatever. Continuing on. Anime profile picture calling anyone a man-child is some delicious irony. Drumpf is so disgusting, even bullets don't want to get near him. Man-child audience laughs and shits their pants. Oh, John Oliver, what a national treasure he is. Am I being sarcastic? Am I not? You decide. I'm being some other secret third thing. It's called being obtuse. The current world we live in. Men actually care about a woman's body count. Modern women. Oh no! I mean, some dudes do, some dudes don't. Personally, I think being chaste is better than not. So yeah, I suppose that makes me one of the dudes that does care. But I know plenty of dudes willing to throw the hot dog down the hallway, you know what I mean? They'll go in, they don't care. Then you have to consider if that's the type of person you want to settle down with. It's a very nuanced discussion. We're not going to have it here. Maybe down in the comments we could argue about it a little bit. It's nice. Here's a really cool new anime that's coming out. You guys might not have heard about it. It's a elf girl peeing comedy, and yes, it's an anime. Where is the Elf Teacher's Toilet Volume 1 by Chizuna Nakajima. Okay, great. This is what was in your heart, and now you've committed it to the page, and even if it's not something that I necessarily enjoy, I do admire the commitment that it takes to make something like this a reality. Next question then is, did this universe actually need something like this? But I don't know if we'll get the answers. It's a comedy about an elf girl from a fantasy world starting work as an apprentice teacher at an all-boys high school. However, she faces a big problem. Due to her nature as an elf, she can only pee where nature is, rendering herself unable to relieve herself at a regular human toilet. Just get her like a little patch of grass, some catnip, you know? Wherever nature calls now, the elf girl is forced to get creative in her efforts to urinate. Jesus. I guess it could be funny, you know, but it's also a lot of probably fan service and weirdness going on. I don't think I'm going to participate, but that guy had a vision, you know? He's like, I want to see elf girls pee. You can make it happen. Isn't that wonderful for you and basically like 1,000 other people who will buy this? I don't know. There's probably more than that. That's really the trouble with the internet. Also, in other news, the creator of the Cartoon Network show Mighty Magiswords has been arrested for possession of child images. And of course, he looks exactly as you would expect him to look. Look at that troll. Ugh, disgusting. Got the Coke bottle glasses and everything. Mutton chops and a hipster vest in current year. He's still stuck in like 2005, 2010. Maybe that's when Mighty Magiswords hit its zenith. But I've never heard of that show, and good, I'm glad. I hope it becomes lost media and everybody hates it because of the disgusting person that you are. Doesn't he just look so punchable? Anyway, continuing. If their waifus were real, they'd probably hate him too. Remember when Hercules made himself a girlfriend out of clay and the first thing she did after getting free will was dump him? I don't remember that, but that's kind of hilarious. It's probably based on an actual Greek story too. The Greeks knew. They knew a lot of shit. They had it all down to a science. They've been through all this before. I don't know if it's actually based on a Greek story or not, but, well, let's pretend that it is. Next post is, what the hell is this meme? I'm 5'11". It's like a jacked Chad, and then fat, what do you call this, a female soy jack? Says, I don't date guys below 6 feet. You know exactly what this meme is. Anyone who has spent more than a day or two on Tinder knows exactly what this meme is. I don't mean Tinder like the app. You just have to go to r/Tinder. I've never used the Tinder app, but I know what they're talking about here. We've got lots of Tinder videos on the channel. You should search ReddX Tinder, or Tinder ReddX, I guess. There's hours of content to binge, an untapped vein of cringe. Do I agree with the meme 100%? Hell no. 5'11" guy, he's not that jacked. He doesn't have that sort of self-discipline. But the whole needing dudes to be over 6 feet thing is also sort of ridiculous. And then you do the meme and you ask her weight and she gets angry at you and then you don't have to deal with it anyways. And it's the perfect crime. This guy says, Western women over 25 are hags with gray hair and wrinkles. Oh, okay. Based on your own experience, I guess. How many 25-year-old women do you actually know? But yeah, this poster asks, how much better do you think the world would be if every woman was as hot as Marina Nagasawa? And I'm going to put a picture of her face here. We're going to have to blur out the mountains of breast meat. Elijah, thank you so much. And I guess this is a fan page or something. It probably gets really weird over here. Marina's born in 1995, and if you follow her on social media, you can see that she's still as hot as ever, despite her age. Born in 1995. And really wish girls around me IRL were as hot as her. She's absolutely the perfect woman in every way. You don't know anything about her. You have this imagined version of her inside your own head, and you've obsessed about it to this point. Vote A, a lot better. I have good taste in girls. A bit better. She's hot, but not my type. That's vote B. And then C is not better. I'm an abominable feminist who hates sexy girls, or a simp. Simping for feminists. Uh-huh. Not a loaded question in any way. Somebody says, still hot despite her age. Bruh, she's only 25. Good catch. That weirded me out a lot too. Women's beauty start to fade at 25. At that point and onward, you start to get gray hair and wrinkles, unless you take care of yourself. The body really doesn't start to degrade until about 36 or so. Or is it 32? One of those ages, your body really does start dying off. But until then, hey, you're golden. I don't know any 25-year-olds with gray hair. Maybe seen a few with wrinkles, but that's just from some hard living. You lived that first decade like a double decade. Bro, it's 25, not 45. No 25-year-old gets gray hair and wrinkles. Like you're acting at 25, they're now considered old people. You're not an old person until you're 30, but being old feels really great, honestly. I can do whatever I want, it's beautiful! The asker concedes a bit and says, okay, maybe gray hair and wrinkles were a bit much, but girls do start to get unattractive around 25. Very few are still attractive at 30. This is obviously based on my own opinion. Yes, your own very shitty opinion. Source, trust me, bro. Why don't you make this post in 5 years when Marina is 30 then, if that's the case. Then she's really breaking some barriers for you. You just know he has pictures of her, so like on the desktop background, the phone screen background. He's just gone way too far with this obsession about a person who doesn't know that he exists. It's super weird. I hate to have a glimpse into your life because it just makes me deeply uncomfortable. This is posted a year ago. Maybe he threw up all over himself when she, became over 25. Like Leonardo DiCaprio does. Like, oh, you're 26? I gotta upgrade. I'm sorry. The next model's moving in! This neckbeard really thinks that a woman's body does this. Oh, some r/not how girls work. Cool. Ladies form a mound after getting pounded and used time after time, aka the pitching mound, where a bunch of men have gone to bat. What the fuck? This is the mons pubis? You really should learn to enjoy it. This is a surefire way to tell if your girl has her V card or has low mileage. Some scientists believe that old seed can be stored in the mound for up to 20 years. Thank me later. Is that what it's for? It's a receptacle of sorts. Up to 20 years. Just carrying around some fetid seed from a hookup I had at the club when I was 20. At 40 years old. It doesn't survive for more than a week or so, right? What's the point of storing it for 20 years? Who are these scientists that believe this? I'm barely a scientist and I don't believe it at all. This has got to be like a 15-year-old that learned that speaking with authority will allow him to convince people of very stupid shit. And this is one of the dumbest things I've seen. Are you kidding me? Beware the mons pubis, ladies and gentlemen. Dumb. Check out this sad array of incel divorced dad apparel. Gosh, t-shirts really are getting insanely specific, aren't they? I'm not gonna sign off on any of this. Life sucks, but DM me if you can suck better. When I said I like it rough, I meant the intimacy, not the whole relationship. I'm broken. I eat clown pockets like a fat kid eats cake. I hate being single. All I do is whatever I want all the time. Yeah, ladies, step up quick. These t-shirts are really what clinches it. I don't date anymore. I just foster women until they find their forever homes. Relationship status. Single, taken, not falling for that again. Here's one that says, enjoy life, eat out more often. And then it is depicted by stick figures, which we're not going to show, Elijah. Again, easy enough to imagine within your own head. If you're flirting with me, please let me know. Just be extremely specific. Seriously, I'm clueless. I would not wear any of these. These are all so fucking cringe. You paid $16 for that when you could have paid for ReddX merch over on Fourth Wall? Does it cost a little more? Sure, but it's high quality, and it's throwing money at your boy. You get something out of it, I get something out of it. You don't have to look like a tool. There's not even any graphic on these t-shirts. It's just a bunch of text. I used to be married, but I'm much better now. I'm single, want my number? Very subtle. I don't think girls realize how handsome my mom says I am. Weird, pretty weird. Might actually work as a pickup line, but putting on a shirt, that's just lazy. All this is just lazy. Good men do exist. We're just ugly. Inclusive. I'm definitely one of those good men. You know because I put it on my t-shirt. True love, XOXO. What's that, like steaks and barbed wire? Are you a vampire hunting biker? Van Helsing Ghost Rider? I'm a little ugly, but I'll treat you right. Yep, citation needed. If you're flirting with me, please let me know. Yeah, we saw that one already. Anybody can make a t-shirt. Not everybody can include graphic design, top-notch graphic design, embroidered, wonderful. Look at this. This is screen-printed bullshit. That's what that is. Check out the Fourth Wall. This next user says, throw up a little in my mouth. It's just a series of 6 panties hanging on a wall. Opinion? And then the computer on with the panties still hanging on the wall. Yes, I have a pantsu fetish. Ooh, sorry. I too threw up in my mouth a little bit. That's the whole personality, is it? Okay, great. Have fun with that. I'm mortified. But we do have the same aquarium-looking case, so you have to get a different one. I'm sorry, but we can't have the same case. Actually, mine's white and his is black, so it's probably fine. Does this count as a neckbeard? It's Keemstar, yes. The neckbeard lolcow hybrid, as we've come to see. I don't care what anyone says. Doing it with younger, less experienced girls is always better. The problem with women who've been with lots of men is that they're far more prone to say mean things about your wiener or how bad you are at doing it. This can't be real. What are you talking about? We see at the bottom it says r/totally real tweets, and while I don't think it's outside of Keemstar's wheelhouse, I like to think that he's smarter than taking a stance like this publicly. Jesus. The fact that it's even believable is concerning. Anyway, the lack of self-awareness is remarkable with this next one. Ace Oni says, anime fans need to stop promoting cringe trends. Truer words have never been spoken. But also, yes, lack of self-awareness. Your birth month, your slave! Oh, March gets Jesse from Team Rocket. I'm pretty sure like most of these are underage in some way. I'm always uncomfortable around this. I don't know the animes well enough to be like, this one's not okay and this one is. To me, I don't like it. This is a cringe trend. You don't need an anime girl slave, you need a fucking job. And then a hobby that gets you far away from this. Here's a literal Japan is a utopia and Japanese women are submissive waifus type of neckbeard, which is one of the most common types, but we'll still take a look. They're responding to this meme. You can't just go to Japan and find a beautiful, submissive Japanese trad wife. You're supposed to marry American land whales like me so I can divorce you, take 50% of your assets, and make you pay me child support and alimony until you die. Pathetic incel loser alert. Ignore her, baby. She's just jealous she got nothing to offer. This is very hyperbolic, okay? There's plenty of American dudes meeting American women. But the truth is, the world's opened up. It's sort of a global society. Why not travel to the other side and see what it's about? I think you'll find that Japanese wives are a bit more domineering than you would first assume. They really want to point your life in the direction. Sure, they'll do all the nice things for you, but they're not going to let you sit there and be a fat, unmotivated bump on a log. No decent, self-respecting woman will. I think that's the real disconnect that these people are having. Anyway, this guy says, I can't wait till I travel to Japan and get a submissive Japanese trad wife. TM, yeah. I just can't imagine the American land whales coping like they always do when their men get a foreign trad wife. Instead of bettering themselves, they cope and seethe. In my experience, you'd be surprised how little people actually give a shit about that. I went to the Philippines and found my wife here. And at that point in my life, I wasn't deserving of her, but she helped to shape me up into the man that I am. This guy, whoever made this meme, wants to point the finger and go, oh, it's them who needs to better themselves. It's like, how about everybody betters themselves? Wouldn't that be the overall more desirable outcome? I mean, of course, obviously he'll say no because it's hard work and whatnot. Nobody wants to do that. Just point the finger at the other person. Be like, you're wrong, I'm right. Okay, cool. However you get through the day, I guess. Don't buy used manga. Don't buy used manga. It's got to do with the kissy marks all over him. Oh, that lady was really into that anime character, and I guess that shows that things can go both ways. Whenever a woman that's moderately attractive shows up, neckbeards can't stop talking about her doing it. My God, are you calling Kamala Harris moderately attractive? I think that's a stretch, bro. Nick Field says, further proof of my theory that cigarettes absolutely wrecked the generation born in the early 20th century. Both these people are 59 in these photos. Yes, a man who doesn't take Botox versus a woman who clearly does. But Eric says, that or seed on the face is actually a very good moisturizer. Yeah, we didn't have to take it in that direction, but I guess we did. I think Kamala took it in that direction first, though. Isn't she the one that had a tweet that was like, oh, suck up so sloppy you gotta wipe his butt after or something? Our next presidential candidate, everybody! Yay! It just means she's relatable. I don't fucking want anybody to be that relatable. Don't ever talk to me about that again. Thank you. It's supposed to be the White House, for God's sake. We're in polite company here. Whatever, who cares? She sucks. They both suck. Yeah, she's probably taken a few shots to the face, but it's the Botox that really does most of the lifting here. Saw this shirt at a minor league baseball game. This one's been making the rounds on the internet. I've seen it probably 6 times, and yes, it also made it to my very own personal subreddit r/ReddX reads. Blondes, 17 or 18, approach me if you're 17, which is the age of consent in Illinois, and you also live in Illinois, or 18 if you live in a different state, and you find me physically attractive, and want to have a one-night thing with me or be friends with benefits. I'm a big, handsome man who's 6'4", big-boned, and broad shoulders with straight, thick, dark brown hair, deep-set, almond-shaped hazel eyes, and angled eyebrows, a straight, long, and narrow upturned nose, downturned lips, and a triangle face shape. Was born in 1998. I'm shy, I have social anxiety, and Asperger's. I'm mostly attracted to blondes, and I want my first time to be with one who's the youngest legal possible age.
Hey champ, that's really interesting. Next time, keep it to yourself.
Oh shit. It was bad. It was bad the whole way through, but that's really the clincher for me. Does that not set off any alarm bells in your head, or is just like, yeah, it's fine. I was within the bounds of the law, wasn't I? How old is this fellow? It doesn't seem to mention. Anyway, that age is 17 if we both live in Illinois, or 18 if we live in different states, because it's illegal, even if you're also a minor, to travel interstate or internationally, to do it with minors and to transport minors to your state, or to persuade, induce, entice, coerce minors to travel interstate regardless. The age of consent in each state or other countries, and then it's cut off. Dude, you seem to know a lot about this, and I'm deeply concerned. What the fuck is going on here? Somebody check that man's hard drive right now. Right now! I don't know if I'd punch somebody for wearing a shirt like that, but you're definitely sus. I'm definitely keeping eyes on you, sir. And if all goes well, you do the bad thing, then I get to have it my way. Take you out into the woods and beat you to death with a ReddX Industries brand lead pipe. At least someone's getting piped down tonight, right? Donk, donk, donk. It's a stupid joke, I don't know. This OP says, I'm not sure if this exactly fits the neckbeard thing, but it just screams it to me. It's a TikTok.
One of the best things about WW is Verina's short. They are incredibly small. And the fact that pretty much all of her animations expose her tummy. Not that I'm complaining, of course. This even happens from the back as well, because you can see the back view. And given how low cut this is, you know she's flat and probably not wearing a bra. Not that I'm complaining.
Not that I'm complaining. Wait.
You what?
Ew! What is this? I don't know what WW is, but I hate it. What it has brought into this world is nothing but evil. Who's watching these videos? Why are you making these videos? Or the games, I guess, is really the genesis of it. Not good, man. Normalizing something that shouldn't be normalized. Oh, she's flat-chested, not wearing a bra. It's like, why don't you put a bullet in your head? How about that? Do the whole world a favor, just scrub yourself from the gene pool. I'd really appreciate it. I really would. There's 10 more seconds of this to go, so let's see, I guess.
This is further compounded by the fact that whenever you glide, you can get an entire upskirt view. So overall, a nice tummy exposure.
Ah!
What the is wrong with you?
Nice tummy exposure. I like to see that animated child's tummy. Fuck. I want to punch him so bad. I'm also not sure if it fits neckbeard thing, but probably it's close enough, okay? It made me deeply uncomfortable, viscerally uncomfortable, to see a grown man talking about this so matter-of-factly. I don't know what the hell WW is, but I declare war on it. If somebody ever asks me if I play it, I'm going to distance myself from that person immediately. I know somebody's gonna go in the comments and be like, well, they have ones with big tickle bitties too. It doesn't matter to me, okay? That's not what I look for in my gaming experiences. Right now it's Rainbow Six Siege or Dwarf Fortress. None of these matter with the tummy exposure. Unless I guess you're trying to make new skirts for your dwarves or something. They all wear skirts in my fort. It improves morale. There's a nice breeze. Anyway, this neckbeard cries about not being able to touch it to the Olympics. WTF is this liberal BS? It's beach volleyball and they have leggings on? Are you kidding me? Throw a bikini on and let that rack bounce. WTF is this? Some gay stuff. I mean, many of the teams have different outfits of choice. I saw the Egyptian team versus the Spanish team going around on social media. And yeah, one's from a Muslim country, very covered up. Those Spanish girls, they let it all hang out. Wherever this country's from, they're somewhere in the middle. It's fine. It's a tall blonde girl, maybe a Nordic country. It's cold when they play volleyball, okay? I'm used to playing in pants. I think you're missing the entire point of the thing that they're doing here. They're winning they're having a competition of the highest skill level. And he's just like, I want to see butts. Go on the internet. I don't know what to tell you, okay? Fix yourself somehow. This poster's coming in here with some military-grade cringe. Look out! It seems like the only thing left in Ukraine will be women. This will have great potential after this conflict. The entire country could become a pleasure island. I don't think Ukraine is an island, first of all. Even if we're speaking of a metaphorical island, that's a terrible use of an entire country. You can totally do that, but you keep it to a red light district. You don't want it spilling out everywhere. Or else we get the whole Sodom and Gomorrah thing going again. You get turned into a pillar of salt. What the fuck happened? Anyway, This guy says, there's no love. All these breakup songs are so gay. How about you realize there is no love, but just your confusing hormonal urge to reproduce? Man, did I show those guys. Fedora tip. Yeah, it's just brain chemicals. I'm so above it all with my Rick and Morty profile picture. To a certain extent, yeah, the beginnings of love, that's all just brain chemicals. But if you get into 10, 15, 20-year relationship, that is true love right there. Two people who accept each other's idiosyncrasies and decide that they want to stay together day after day. That's wonderful. No hormones to thank for that one. Well, probably some. But mostly it's just two people who enjoy being around each other. I don't think this guy will ever get to that point in a relationship. He'll keep blaming everybody else around him, but it's okay because he's so smart and above it all. Yeah, I'm sure we're all buying that, right? Here's a comic that just says huff huff. I'm terrified. Yeah, so I've been loving my new free use lifestyle. Oh yeah? Yeah, it's been so fun and exciting being able to be used by anyone that wants me. Excuse me, milady. God. Did I perchance hear you mention anyone who wants you? Huff, huff. This is awful. I've made a huge mistake! Very NSFW bonus panel on my Patreon. I would prefer not to see that. I'm glad my eyes are already scooped out of my skull. I don't even know what the Patreon is, nor do I care to plug it to the world. Although I guess I have, sort of. Just because it mentions a neckbeard? Cheap plug, bro. Cheap plug. But I don't know, I did a cheap plug for the fourth wall earlier, so I guess fair's fair. Bitch wifey won't let me get my gaming fridge. Whee! Who hasn't been there before? Actually, my wife talked about buying a Red Bull can thing they had for sale. Just one of those giant store display with the Red Bull cans inside it, but it's like a giant Red Bull can. So that'd be super cool. I'm still considering it on some level. My wife's cooler than your wife is what it is. I wasn't gonna post this, but I'm furious and maybe it'll get some traction. I got into an argument with my wife because I found this at Target, and she doesn't understand why I want it so badly. We got into a screaming fight in the aisle, and it got messy. And you guys are married? You didn't have all the kinks worked out before that? Is she like the sole breadwinner? Do you not have your own money? That's probably what it is. I want something, I get it. Sometimes my wifey makes a face, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, we still make it. I'm not going too crazy over here. I just need my toys, my accoutrement. And I don't impulse buy. I'm not standing in the Target like, oh, I need a Minecraft fridge. That's dumb. Steph was walking over to us, a couple people was laughing at us, and the worst part is my wife doesn't realize it's her fault. Since our house is in my name, I told her she's staying with her coworkers until the fridge is purchased and plugged in. Yes, I divorced my wife over a Minecraft fridge. Oh, this is delicious. I'm glad that this marriage didn't go on any longer because neither of you seems prepared for it. I'm a grown-ass man. If I want this, I don't know why anyone should be able to tell me no. Especially with one of my favorite franchises. She also doesn't realize that with this, I don't have to walk to the kitchen to get drinks, which saves me a ton of time, but there's no point even bringing it up. We'll post pics of the fridge once it's set up. Yeah, post pictures of the divorce paperwork, because that shit's not happening. Just because it's a Minecraft fridge, oh, I have to buy it! And then I don't have to walk into the living room or kitchen. It's like you're never going to leave your cave at that point. I hope that was the end. I hope that was the last straw. I hope he didn't get his fridge from his little man-baby tantrum. Like, what the actual fuck? I need this fridge that only fits 8 drinks in it. That's stupid. You like the idea of the thing more than you would actually use it, I guarantee. Talking about he's grown and stuff, then you need to start acting grown. If you want the fridge, you set some money aside every month and you get the fridge. But we don't need to throw a tantrum because we couldn't buy a, whatever, $50 to $100 Minecraft fridge. You need to sort yourself out is what I'm saying. They're all my special flashlights, especially Neko. You sure think about kids a lot.
You bet your sweet Bippy I did.
Grace Charist posts, "Take me golfing," kissy emoji. And this guy says, "Only closeted gay men or guys with a minority IQ would date this sort of woman." I mean, is it the golf that you have it has to be the golf that he has a problem with. It's a really weird hill to die on, man. I see a couple of other hills worth dying on. Oh man, I'm off and running already. Okay, next one. The minute a man uses the word females, he automatically looks like this to me. You might be giving him a little too much credit, because at least Quark was a good listener. See, because ears, okay.
I know you're not like other females. You like to think about things. You have opinions.
Here's an image, and there are 7 things wrong with it. 1, a girl's first kiss should be on her wedding day.
I mean, in an ideal world, I guess I agree. Unfortunately, the world that we live in is far from ideal, and you kind of want to know what you're getting before you sign a legal contract together. I guess I'm still team premarital intimacy.
Number 2, the girl is embarrassing the boy by kissing him in public.
Yeah, I'm sure. He looks like he really hates that.
3, the boy is playing football. Ball games are for little children.
Yes, little children who get paid millions of dollars a year. Granted, that is a very tiny fraction of people who play ball games, but can't you just do a thing and enjoy it? Like making shamelessly shitty Twitter posts. Clearly you enjoy that. Some might say it was for little children. But not me, though. We do some trolling around here from time to time, but yeah, I hope that this is just a troll post.
4, the boy and girl go to the same school. Co-education is asinine.
You might be onto something, but again, there's the ideal world versus the world that we live in. And in the world that we live in, you need to kind of cohabitate and learn how to deal with the opposite gender in a proper way.
5, the boy's hair is short. Boys should grow their hair long and then cut it at age 18 to sacrifice to Apollo.
You gotta be trolling, dude, for real.
6, they're wearing purple. Purple's a color reserved for royalty.
Now we're really reaching.
7, the boy's number is 81. 81 is a historically gay number.
Yeah, see, because he got the 2 orbs and the stick. Super gay. Like the gayest number. He was really reaching around like 0.4, but he's like, nah, I gotta push it all the way to 7.
American Gothic is a euphemism for American decadent.
Well, then you missed the whole point of that painting. And also, you know, life in general. I don't know how somebody could sit down and be so confident in whatever they're saying when it's so absurdly stupid. Actually, I do know, because I do it all the time. Anyway, let's do it some more. Next one. Oh, God. Manga Mogura. We saw elves peeing in the last one. I can only imagine what this is going to be.
I don't like where this is going.
A declining birth rate rom-com manga series titled Suika wa Shushika Tantou. Butchered it. By Hideki Ishikawa. Butchered it. Starting in Young Gangen, issue 24, 2023. Rom-com set in Japan, where the declining birth rate has forced the government to mandate making children a law. It's the incel comic. For that purpose, specially trained girls are sent to women's homes to get pregnant. One of these men is a 34-year-old failed writer who one day gets visited by a teenage girl trained for this special purpose, determined to save Japan. She really tried to end it on a bright note, but yeah, everything you said is dastardly. I hate this fictional world that you've created with every fiber of my being. I guess one could argue it's consensual, you know, she shows up, she's eager to do it, but she's a fucking teenager, for God's sake. She's been brainwashed into believing this. No, we can't have this one in the multiverse. We gotta nuke it. It's been a while, but blow the dust off and fire up that space laser. Ka-chow! In our next post, a guy marries an Asian woman, and the white supremacists don't like it. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they really mauled and seethe about that situation. Honestly, that makes it a little bit better, doesn't it? I went on 11 dates over 8-ish years with white women, and none of them ever gave me a chance. Went on a date with an Asian girl from work, and she's now my beautiful wife. Women will claim it's my fault for not being good enough, but I'm loved now, and that's all I've ever wanted. And that's the most important thing, isn't it? I would agree. It's all about human connection. But unfortunately, the Neckbeards, Incels, Nice Guys, yeah, they don't seem to. The topic is very tired, but what stands out here is I'm loved now, and that's all I've ever wanted. A completely liberal, feminine, and selfish desire. Being so needy as to sell out your civilization for the absurdly low price of a single void affirming you as a person. Pathetic. Yeah. Much better to sit on the internet and seethe about the person that some complete stranger married. Like, does that make any sense? And that's, of course, not even the only reply.
I like how you're framing this as if white women are picky or impossible to please when you married a yellow woman because they got no standards. They'll do anything to date a white. If that works for you, then whatever, but don't say it's something that it's not.
This is ridiculous. Go be a bag of shit around an Asian woman and tell me how they handle it. You have this preconceived notion in your mind that, like, oh, they'll put up with anything. But no, they will hold you to a standard, to their standard.
Which is often a lot higher than it is for white people. Anyways, moving on. I hate you pathetic losers so much. You tried for 8 years and couldn't get a single decent white woman. What other conclusion could there be other than that you're completely inadequate? My experience is the opposite of this. White chicks are the best.
Yeah, and I just had to let the internet know that. Oh, you have a preference? Well, this is my preference. Okay, we can both have different preferences. They just need something to be upset about. Quote retweet with a pistol. Nice. Proves the fail to get white point. Go for Asian pipeline.
That's race mixing. That's race mixing in my timeline.
You guys are so weird. I bet if an Asian chick asked you to bang it out right now, you'd be hot to trot. Be like, no, I can't, just can't marry him because you see them as other, and I think it really is demonstrative of your inability to see somebody who doesn't look like you as their own independent human being. They have different thoughts, experiences, culture, and it does so much to widen your worldview. As far as saving the white race and whatnot, not my job. All my siblings had white kids, if you want to know. But in like a massively globalized society, yes, people are going to find people of different cultures, maybe even different races, and you gotta learn how to come to grips with that. I guess by seething on Twitter.
This is just how I let off steam.
Okay, sure. I think the best thing about my philosophy in life is, yeah, I don't really give a shit what anybody else says, so... I'm glad you're mad, as a matter of fact. Tell me how I can make you even more mad, and then I'll do that.
What's wrong with you, bro? What the heck? You tripping, bro. You tripping!
Filmmaker Daniel Shraven says women should carry rubbers and cooperate in the case of unwanted intimacy. What is this post? I hate this. Who is this? Just a filmmaker. Well, Bollywood sucks anyways, but I'm definitely not watching any of his. Shravan took to Facebook to suggest that women should carry rubbers and save themselves from getting ended instead of calling up the police. He also mentioned that women should cooperate in the act and offer them a rubber so they don't get ended. What is this fucking post, man?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
What? I'm not going to read any more of the post because it's not relevant. We got all the information we need. I'm not going to find anything in here that makes it make sense. It's just a really fucking horrible take, and Daniel is a really horrible person. I'll spend no more time on it. Here's a post from Alternate Pistory. I haven't heard of that. I might check it out.
I don't give a damn about Soviet women who were mistreated by the Germans because, of course, they ended the German soldiers, including my great-granduncle, Oberschutz Joseph Eckhardt, who served the small mustache man from 1938 to 43. Sometime around 43, in January, he was located in a small Russian village by himself. An 18-year-old Russian girl came up to him and started flirting with him, which he accepted because he was feeling lonely.
Way to humanize him there. Not because he's a creep or anything. And I don't say that because 18, I say that because he's probably got a wife with child at home, hence why he's your grandfather and not a broken branch on the family tree, I guess.
She led him to her father's house, and he shoved her onto the sofa. Before he could take off his uniform, her big sister stabbed him in the back with his own Kar 98K bayonet. When he turned around, he saw her big sister and a Kazakh woman in a Red Army uniform who was most likely her friend. They were smirking at him as he slumped down to the wall and slowly bled out. He was only 29. Nobody deserves this fate.
Yeah, definitely hold it against the entire country forever. It's war, dude. These things happen. How about you recognize that you're in enemy territory in uniform? What could possibly go wrong? All the blood rushed out his big head into the small one, didn't it? But at least his great-grandson is carrying the torch. Or no, his great-grand-uncle. So great-grand-nephew is carrying on the torch of being a lonely, broken branch of the family tree. Good for you. Keep up tradition. Here's a post from Reddit.
I don't understand women who support abortion. Isn't y'all's perfect of existence to be pregnant and keep the population going? I mean, look at other animal species, and how ironic that you're against it even though you got boobas for milk and your private parts for the reproduction. Taking all that for granted, stopping a life from forming. I'm muting this thread as I can hear angry women downvoting this. I hate this generation.
Dude, where'd you come from, like 1920? The population's basically guaranteed to keep going either way. People just like fucking too much. So, with that being the case, why can't you just let people enjoy their time while they're here? Same energy as the, oh my god, that white guy married an Asian girl post from earlier. Just out here completely mauling over how somebody else chooses to spend their life. Well, I've had a good look at how you spend yours, and yeah, your opinion doesn't matter all that much to me. So we're moving on. Community Notes out here doing wonders. She's 18 years old, but she's been ovulating since she was 12 and a half. Oh, God, dude. Would you prefer to marry her at this age or a younger age? What is the ideal age a girl should be married, in your opinion? Dan Silly, you are a fucking weird dude. And then Community Notes swoops in and says, yeah, this guy's a registered sex offender. Oh, it's worse than I could have ever possibly imagined. He can be found by searching his name in the California offender site, meganslaw.ca.gov. Not so silly now, are we? And this one cuts me deep, deeper than usual even, because my freaking 12-year-old was talking to a 17-year-old because she was playing some stupid fucking mobile MOBA game. Yeah, definitely some grooming going on there, and I tried to sit her down and explain, but she's so rebellious and fucking hormones. Oh God, I hate it. So I did the only thing that I could do. Hired a private investigator to go take pictures of his house, then sent them to him both and said, is this where he lives? They don't talk no more. And also, she dropped her phone coming home from school yesterday, which is like total act of God. I'm not replacing that shit. You turn 18, you buy your own fucking phone. I'm done. So yes, the internet's a scary place. You don't really know who you're talking to. That guy, while not 18, definitely belongs on the registry. I don't know if the Philippines has one, as a matter of fact. Doesn't really matter because I got a better solution. Just he goes missing one day, ends up in the river. Moral of the story, I guess, is Don't fuck with my kids. Dan or anybody. Next post. To combat declining birth rates, Japan to begin offering breeding visas to foreigners. Weebs. It's like, I was made for this. Ew, that is not good. Do not put that in your body.
Sumimasen, I foreigner. I don't speak Japanese, but I love Aoi soda.
You don't want to gestate that. It's not like the manga that you saw, okay? Most women are like, I'd rather be happy by myself than miserable with you. That's the case anywhere in the world that you go. And yes, I've been to Japan. I speak on this one confidently. Okay, whatever. Want to see something even more disgusting? Me and the boys when we found out that the lolly we saw is in fact legal. I'd like to put you all up against the wall. Could you just head on over, okay? No, there's no conviction, but we're just saving a step, essentially. I'm saving taxpayer dollars here. So you're welcome, and next post, r/shower thoughts. Nobody cares if their deodorant's 48-hour or 24-hour. They're still gonna apply it once a day. Neckbeard walks in. Press X to doubt. Yeah, the schedule is more like never. Never, ever. But they've got nose blind. They don't even know anymore. Sad. Here's @BrightWyvern. For some context, he was upset that a character got called a lowly on Twitter, and so then he tried flexing about how he'd seen much worse stuff than that online. To that I say weird flex, but okay.
If you think lowlies are scary, you don't even want half the knowledge of things I've seen on the internet.
You're right, I probably don't. Can we check this guy's fucking hard drive?
Hold him for questioning. Check his hard drive for child porn.
I know the FBI's listening. Here's a tip. That's the guy right there.
Get at him, dog.
This bro really said women suffered the most. What women suffered? Period. Breakup, being broke, going to jail for 2 days. What us men have suffered. World War I, World War II, depression, divorces, being blamed for everything. Isn't treated fairly. Damn, bro, you were in World War I? Your knees got to be going at this point. You've had a hip replacement surgery or what? Yes, only men experience depression. I do agree that we get blamed for a lot of shit, but that's kind of just our role as men, isn't it? Like, we shrug it off a lot easier. It's like, yeah, okay. Sure, it's my fault. That's fine. As far as being treated fairly, I haven't experienced that. I think it's been more than fair out there in the world. There are inequalities, inconsistencies here and there, but it's not worth getting all up in your feelings about. What is this, the TikTok comment section? That explains everything. Okay. Mystery solved. We gotta move on. This guy says, being a man means being kicked when you're feeling down. Women will never know this feeling. Yeah, people do take it easier on women, that's fair. But as a man, your job is to get kicked and stand back up, nevertheless. Grab your fucking balls and say, I'm right here, try it again. That's being a man.
But you wouldn't know nothing about that now, would ya?
A lady comes in and says, well, intimate assault is exactly that. You wouldn't know about that, of course. I mean, probably not. Unless you went to prison. Then you probably do know about that.
And what happens when that sort of thing goes down in prison?
You stand back up. You say, I'm right here. Try it again. See? That's where I learned it from. And then that weird dude says,
that's not even real.
Yeah, grapes aren't even real, dude. Citation needed? Just trust me, bro? Sure, okay. Next one. Neckbeard on Cora.
What do you guys think of Taylor Swift's father, Papa Swift? As long as Papa's pocket's filled with money, he don't give a fuck.
That's true. Here's $10 million. I'm like, wow, that is better than a grandchild. I haven't had a grandchild yet, so I can't really speak to it. But it seems like a solid theory. I hope to find out one day. Do you think Taylor Swift will shake off Travis Kelce for Sam Hugan?
She's a slut. She loves to beg. She'd do them both.
Yeah, just go online and post things. Why not? How would you describe Taylor Swift's skin color?
5 layers of very heavy makeup. Surprised she could keep her head up.
Oh my god, just so filled with hate for this person that doesn't know you exist. It's a really weird way to go through life. What would be a turn on for Taylor Swift about Travis Kelce?
Money!
Does Taylor Swift wear bras or not?
Yes, for those implants of hers.
I don't think. You know what? Never mind. What do you make of Taylor Swift's references to football games and Travis Kelce in, quote, The Alchemy, which is a movie, I guess?
Easy moneymaker and publicity stunt to rip off her fans like she has for years.
Oh, I see what happened here. This former retired Army, probably enlisted, paid for some backstage passes. He saved up and she didn't even show up. Little did he know she actually goes back to her trailer after the show to eat 50 blue jelly beans. She was gonna come back, but this guy, he didn't have no time. What? The Army didn't teach you to hurry up and wait? More of this crap. Do you believe Sam Hugan has a chance to win Taylor Swift's heart with his ginger wig charm at her upcoming concert in Edinburgh?
No, she's not ready to close her legs yet, especially with Billie Eilish.
Well, you are a 40-year-old man. How are you fucking keeping track of this? What? I also thought ginger wig charm was... I don't even know what that means. Who is Sam Hugan? I guess just another guy in the long list of guys. This question asks, does Taylor Swift have a pretty stomach or not? What a trash fire website. What the hell is even going on here?
He says, no, she had liposuction in 2014.
Yeah, he marked it on his calendar. Is Taylor Swift the best?
Hell no.
Is Taylor Swift friends with the Kardashians?
They're in a blowy ran with each other.
Don't try to make sense of... I don't even know what the hell that's supposed to mean. Also the wrong there. Just, wow. He's definitely enlisted. Is anyone else getting sick and tired of hearing about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
Everybody is getting tired of her.
I mean, I don't pay enough attention to be tired. She stays out of my way, I stay out of hers. Seems to work for both of us. How would you compare Joan Baez and Taylor Swift?
Joan has a better figure.
I'm gonna take your word for it, I guess. I don't know about Joan Baez. That's like 1960 something. This guy's fucking retirement age, seething about Taylor Swift. I'm mystified. Does Taylor Swift have nice curves on her body?
Billie Eilish thinks her body is used so much from doing it, she closes her eyes when she gets dressed.
What? It's a question about Taylor Swift. He's like, I hate Billie Eilish. Okay, cool. Another recycled question. What do you think Travis Kelce sees in Taylor Swift?
Money, money, money.
Oh, I guess that's the opposite of the one before. But if they both see money in each other, then like, yeah, what's the point? I guess you can have a bigger pile of money, but probably you guys want to like each other too, right? Does Taylor Swift have a brain?
Fuck on! She thinks with her vag 24/7.
I don't think that's how that works. How would you like some more of her pictures?
How would you like to see her on drugs?
Dude, that's fucked up. Addiction is like the most exhausting thing in the world. Again, I speak from experience. Do you believe you can be in a relationship with somebody younger than you?
Yes, because to Father, God, would say it's just a number.
And there we go. That's what really clinches it for me. He wants Taylor Swift. He wants her so, not her now, but like a decade or so ago. He's just so mad he never got his shot. He's so mad she didn't show up backstage before she did the 50 blue jelly beans thing, which she totally does do. That's a fact. Remember when I told you earlier I do a bit of trolling? It's always shit like that. I just like to sit here and make things up. What? Got a nice little meme here of the dude and the chick laying in bed. Dude says, hey, quick question. She says, sorry, I have a boyfriend. And he's like, Which part of the presentation am I doing for our project? Jeez, all the boys want me. I will admit that Lady's been a bit too gassed up. Not all of them, of course, but a certain kind that depends mostly on their looks for validation. So, of course, they have to tell themselves they're pretty every time, and they presume that other people want to do the same thing, and yeah, it must be a nice world to live in, I guess. Then, of course, we get a neckbeard wandering in here with far too broad a brush, and he's like, "This is how women actually think." Yes, all of them, bar none. It's because lots of men do think it's flirting when a woman talks to him. You could have just said, "I'm big dumb." I mean, he is pretty big dumb, but he'll figure that out eventually. Lucky for all of us, we've got it figured out right now. I just saw this CGI rendition of what Nero actually looked like, and no wonder this nerd killed Christians. The original Neckbeard, far too euphoric. To be fair, not even the weirdest Roman emperor. That title definitely goes to Caligula. But Nero does have some skeletons of his own. It starts with simple extravagance, as it tends to, but before long there were stories circulating that he had seduced married women and young boys, and that he castrated and married a male slave. He also liked to wander the streets, murdering innocent people at random. I mean, the people in charge of the oligarchy still do that, but at least they have a little bit more discretion these days. Gosh, Nero. His face does look pretty punchable, I gotta be honest. Anyway, next post. When you realize they confirmed Corin to be 16 years old. When you realize 16 is perfectly legal in more states than it's not. Yeah, it doesn't make you any less of a creep for liking them. Just facts. Let people that age experience things with people their own age. You don't want to fucking groom them. It's gross, dude. It goes back to the thing with my daughter earlier. It's gross. I hate it. Second weirdo swoops in here and says, "Imagine morally than actual reason. 16-year AOC comes with parental guidance and permit. AOC, it's consent. It is agreed upon by both the fiancé and many third people by many factors. It's not just intimate. That part's only in your mind." Yeah, and in your mind too. I know what the end game is here, okay? He's like, "Oh no, you're taking something pure and making it..." No, I know exactly what it is, alright? I've been around the block a few times. The person pointing out creeps comes back in and says, "Yeah, it's still fucking weird, bro." In fact, trying to find justification for it just makes it look even weirder. Really showed his whole ass, didn't he? It's gonna spiral into a whole comment thread, isn't it? Poster continues, like I said, actions in a video game are fake, but the emotions that those games invoke are real. An attraction like that towards a child is one of those emotions. Well, you're laying the argument down pretty flat here. I don't even get that fucking nuance with it. I just say it's gross. It gives me an uncomfortable feeling. But as you unpack it and lay it out on the table, I find myself agreeing quite a lot, yes. Now, since I've been playing a lot of Dwarf Fortress, I'm gonna go dig into the side of the mountain and build my house. Another weirdo says, "Beat it, tourist!" Yeah, that's the classic response for when someone can't actually defend being attracted to underage characters. I don't know who this user is calling out the creeps, but not all heroes wear capes, that's what I'll say. Another creep says, "Just don't look at." Simple. Now I know it's hard for someone like you, seeing as you really like to look at it. A bit of projection going on there. Should we just not look at all the things that we don't like and then they go away? It seems to be YouTube's stance. Can't say See, you didn't even hear anything that I said. My editor definitely bleeped it out. That's because we want this video to stay monetized. But all of those things that I said, those horrible, horrible things, still exist whether you look at them or not. So isn't it better to get it out on the table, really lay it down flat? I mean, I guess that's impossible for the PDF people because, yeah, all they do is deflect. No, it's just cartoons. the argument about the emotions attached to them being real, ironclad, dude. By looking at that type of shit, you are confirming in your mind that this is something you'd like to participate in. It's something that you confirm. And I could never live my life like that. I don't know how you do, if you do. But I will say, if you do, we're mortal enemies. I hate you. Another creeper new comment thread.
Look at all the tourists in these comments. I need some popcorn.
Tourists equal people who don't agree with you? Essentially, yes.
No, it's kids like you who get upset about fan service in a game clearly catering for it. If you don't like it, leave.
And just a friendly reminder that this is on a Super Smash Brothers tier list video. I don't think Nintendo's much into fan service, as you call it. You're just out here sexualizing a woman for existing at all inside a video game. But still, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to make you leave. Because the Smash community is already a bag of shit. So what's the response? To lay down and be like, well, I guess it's too late to clean it up? No. We start cleaning it up now, today, with you. Get against the wall. We got so many for the wall in this episode. We haven't used it in a while, and it makes me really happy. It's gonna be messy at the end of the day, so yeah, you know, bring the fire hose around before you go home for the day. Person replies again and says, as if you could tell me to leave because you think you could boss me around, laughing emoji. Besides, fan service with minors involved? Damn. It'd be better if you could not be left close to a kindergarten, and those auto likes can be seen from miles away. Some weak insult. I really hate a YouTube comment slap fight. It's the dumbest thing in the world. First creep caller outer made some good points. Second creep caller outer, yeah, you're just an idiot. Like, you believe the correct things, you just don't know how to verbalize them yet. But maybe the more arguments you get into, the more you'll be able to verbalize it, and then you won't be an idiot anymore. So, you know, there's always hope. And then here's a bunch of timestamps that just say child next to it. Ew. Ew. Get them to the wall. We need at least 20 for the wall before we end the episode. They're all my special flashlights, especially Neko. You sure think about kids a lot.
You bet your sweet Bippy I did.
Yeah, he does. I hate what the internet's become, dude. Even if I lost my job as a YouTuber completely, I had to go live in a sheet metal house with no air conditioning, I'd make the sacrifice in order to end the internet. Because what it's become is just disgusting. Things are becoming normalized that absolutely shouldn't be normalized. That's why you gotta normalize it, because it's not fucking normal. Wait, for the comments, molding for fictional characters' ages, bleh. I can't say that I wasn't molding, because I did scream. I did threaten the wall, which is pretty far. But I will answer for my molding. I think it's worth molding over to protect children, you fucking degenerate. Now you, go ahead, defend your stance. He's not going to. All the cartoon PDF endorsers are like 100% all in on it. It's just a cartoon. And then you want them to elucidate their point further, and they can't, because they're just fucking parrots trying to find some excuse to endorse their own wicked thoughts, right? Last one says, MFs in this comment section have a serious problem differentiating fiction from reality. And yeah, that's the go-to deflection. It's not real. But the point that was made very early on is one that will live rent-free in my head forever. Yes, the emotions attached to it are very real. You need to check yourself into therapy or, you know, come on down to ReddX Industries. We'll take care of it for you. We did try chemical castration for a while, you know, we thought that was pretty humane, but there's still just a drain on society, do-nothing fucking wastes of life, so we decided that the wall is actually the more merciful option. So go line up, all of you. All of you, go fucking line up! I fire my AK-47 into the air.
Сука, блядь!
Feels really good. Really letting off some steam today.
Anyway, next post. This is from 4chan. Lesbians.
Literally no such thing. It's a female survival strategy to cohabitate in the absence of men that meet their standards. They're just Chad sexuals. The hot ones will always use the novelty of two females getting intimate with each other to stand out and attract Chad, while the bitter, ugly ones will get involved in politics to punish men collectively because they weren't given access to Chad. Sometimes the ugly ones adopt a boy and torment him to get even with men.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's great. I was gonna ask you to lay down on the couch and talk about your relationship with your mother, but I think I've seen all I need to see. Come back in next week. I'll have a nice special box of pills waiting for you. They're called 762s.
Сука, блядь!
This post is titled simply, "A picture is worth 1,000 words." And yeah, we got a curly haired boy with a fedora, little chin puff going. God, that makes me want to shave off my chin puff. He's really skinny fat. You can see it in his arms and also his torso proportions. Gears of War t-shirt, of course. Got some Halo collectibles in the back. Super Mario Maker, Make America Great Again hat. Lots of GameCube games, it looks like, over on the shelf. Can't read it exactly. There's also Wii games. Much physical media, specifically from Nintendo. Or maybe not. I might just be seeing Nintendo because I like Nintendo stuff. But I'm pretty sure the yellow label over there on the left, whatever. He's also got a picture of Milo Yiannopoulos. Oh, God. He was recently let back onto Twitter, you know? And he's got a Donald Trump Crippled America book. When they send us crippled people, they're not sending their best. I'm talking people whose arms and legs don't work. We got no use for them.
You're fired.
What a terrible thing to say, Donald. You can't write a book about that. I just did. Whoever told me I can't, now you're fired. It's slipping into JFK again. I always do this. But yes, super neat picture. I'm sure that was great for people who are only listening via audio. What the fuck? Can't do anything about it now. We're leaving it in. And we're moving on to the next post. Friends! This is a Fallout 4 post. I have done this quest 4 times, and I was always able to talk to the cat. What about deleting your game and reloading it? I know that's drastic, but nothing should stop you from getting Curie. She's the best. Even if you have to restart your entire game and play 40 hours up to this point, it's still worth it. She is that great. We're talking about just a cat here? I think I'm more of a dog meat person, thank you. Or Rex from New Vegas, yeah. Fucking Liddy, got my boy a new brain, who's the best boy? The creepo continues, I put her in arm armor and all her clothes came off. So now she fights in her underwear and leather shoulder pads. Oh, that must be such a treat for you? What? Why are you posting this publicly? And I have lover's embrace, so she's staying in my bed saying cute French things. Honesty, she is nice to me than my IRL wife. Yeah, IRL wife wants to spend all her time with her boyfriend since you're busy playing Fallout 4. And I don't really understand what you're supposed to... Like, is this a team member? Is it a cat girl team member? I'm not sure. Fallout 4 turned me right off as soon as they dropped you in and they're like, here's some power armor. I'm like, oh, neat. Now the entire game's trivial. Alt F4, back to New Vegas. So just keep trying. It's worth it. Dr. Darrell of Michigan, riding with Biden, vote Democrat every day, every year, every election. Help prepare the USA. I'm more sure than ever that he's a cuck. Oh, man. That is rich. Maybe a couple more posts to cram in here. I felt like that's a good one to end it on, but we'll keep going a little bit. Draven responds to, what is this, that big red panda movie? I forget what it's called. But Draven says, I hated this movie. It felt so uncomfortable watching it. It seems like it's literally just about a horned up kid who now has the risk of getting pregnant. We'll leave the stutters in there too. What kind of name is Draven anyways? I hate this so much. The reason that you see it that way in your little cum-filled mind is because, like, that's your frame of reference. Did the movie make me uncomfortable? Yeah, a little bit, but it wasn't made for people like me. Do I think it's a good movie? Not really, because the best of media should be made for everybody, but this has a very specific message and demographic, and I don't know, I guess it gets the point across well enough. You're the one that's taking it in a weird direction. Next post, last post. Why are you scared? Isn't this what you wanted? It's a room full of women with anime girl heads, masks. Honestly, I don't see any problem with this. I'm not scared. I do, however, want to go home, so if class is over, everybody move so I can get the fuck out of here. Asian male adult video stars are badly needed in Japan. Why do I see this post like every other day? It's ridiculous.
I don't work here.
You do now, son.
And our first post, 90s Bollywood was something else. This was media back then. Raja ki ayegi ba'arat. Raja grapes Mala and the court orders him to marry her. Oh, great. Wow. Wonderful. It's like that meme. Hey, how's it going, India? And then you get a screenshot of this. It's like, yeah. Okay, we're moving on. I don't want any more of that. Common theme I've been seeing amongst the bearded necks. Dudes will make 0 moves on their crush and then proceed to post this. Maybe I'm just meant to be lonely. I listened to Elliot Rodger cry about it for 130 pages, okay? I was screaming at the screen. Please make a move, do anything. He never did. He never did. People don't like you to talk about that part, though. That's why I'd had to go Patreon and members only. Sorry about that. But it is hours and hours of exclusive content if you want to support the channel month to month. Anyway, continuing on. Don't normalize healthy relationships. Yeah, I'm doing my best. Beryl says, my boyfriend and I are approaching 3 years, and after all this time, he has never, ever raised his voice at me, called me names, or disrespected me, and I'm his first girlfriend ever. Verbal maltreatment is so normalized that it took me so long to realize that this is how it should be. Yeah, wifey and I have been together 8, 9, almost a decade, and we don't really yell at each other. Nobody throws plates, which is vastly different from how my parents used to settle things, so good. I think that's progress. Of course, Neckbeard is upset about the whole situation and jumps in the comments to say, nope, don't normalize this type of relationship. Got the milk, no need to buy the cow. 3 years dating? What the hell? If your relationship is so good, why aren't you married? What's left to give in the marriage? He's got you right where he wants, available, but not fully committed. Yeah, definitely. Break it off with the boyfriend of 3 years and give this neckbeard a chance. He'll marry you. He'll make you sign a legal contract, huh? Isn't that what you're looking for?
It should have been me, not him. It's not fair.
How about just like some mutual respect, and that would be good. Wifey and I did get married super quick upon meeting each other, but it's not for everybody. It's fine. The reason we did it's like, well, I mean, there's love, but yeah, visa reasons. Also, on top of that, people publicly fantasizing about doing terrible things to me because I post a picture showing off my new hair, and this is why I'll forever be an annoying, angry feminist. Yeah, cool. I often let people online dictate my view of the world. What? If that's how you want to live, that's fine, but I'm just saying, it's probably not the play to make. But you do you! She posted a picture saying, I feel like a horror game protagonist with this hair. Hopefully I don't get ended. Ooh, little emoji. And then some dude said, she looks like she's built to withstand domestic situations. And then another dude comes in and says, put your legs up type stuff, yeah. Well, this is a revelation to me. I didn't know that there were cum-brained weirdos on the internet. And only thing left to do now is let them define our entire view of the world. What? What's wrong with that? What? This guy needs to be put on a watch list. They're not talking about me. They're talking about Moy, my ideal victim. Petite, lanky arms so she can't fight back. Skinny, easy to carry the land whales. 18 to 24, which is prime choncha. Long hair, easier to pull if she tries to run. Now, probably he does belong on a list of some sort. This is not going to end up well. Thankfully, 14 likes, 125 quotes. I don't know how many replies, but yeah, there's a lot of pushback. He knows it ain't right, okay? He's either doing some engagement baiting or he's severely mentally ill. Maybe a little bit of both. Maybe one kind of requires the other? Maybe.
Both is good.
Moving on. Konnichiwa. Asian male adult video stars are badly needed in Japan. Why do I see this post like every other day? It's ridiculous.
I don't work here.
You do now, son.
Japanese industry has 70 males and 10,000 female actresses. It needs your help.
Me on my way to Japan.
I can save you. I can save you all. Little did you know what you're actually in for, because I've been to those Japanese adult video stores. I've seen what is on offer and what they make people do, and my God, dude, you don't want this, I promise. Can't get into it here. Maybe it's another members-only video, which will make your fucking skin crawl, I guarantee it, but yeah, just trust me, bro. I got this in my Reddit PMs, because I'm a girl. Hi. I'm a gentleman, and I'm searching a girl so I can stop being an incel. Well, hey, you know, at least he is doing something, making moves. I'll admit it's a bit of a weird way to go about it. It's good to put him on blast so we can all mock him a little bit, and he can refine his methods. We're helping. We're really all helping. No bully for real, guys. Milo Yiannopoulos, oh my God, I can't believe he's back. We had like 5 years of blessed silence. Now he's back. But yes, Milo Yiannopoulos wants to have a baby off with Nick Fuentes, which Milo, he totally is gay. I don't mean, does he want to have babies with Nick Fuentes, or they're competingly making babies that will be abandoned in the name of some fucking stupid content? I hate this.
It's a human life, you fucking degenerate!
Okay, here's the post, September 7th, only a couple days ago. To whom it may concern, I am publicly challenging Nicholas J. Fuentes to a baby-off. I say I will have more natural-born offspring by the second quarter of 2027. Here are my conditions. No Dave Rubin-style pay-to-play. You cannot assault. You must succeed in courting a woman and persuading her to breed with you. Ew. I understand it means something different in the gay community, but out here we don't say that. We don't say that. Stop saying that.
We don't do that here.
Children must be conceived naturally as a product of ordinary intercourse and not in vitro fertilization or other artificial methods loathsome to God. What the fuck? In the event of a tie, marriage to the mother shall be the determining factor. The loser shall pay the winner $250K and tweet the following: I accept my adversary, name, is a superior man to me in every way. This actually spurred me to go check out what Milo's been up to on Twitter. And yeah, it seems like he's trying to rebrand himself as a straight guy now. And Nick Fuentes is, you know, sort of been a straight guy. Really, he's a self-hating gay. They're both self-hating gay men. This is just going to end up with them hooking up with each other, isn't it? You're both overcompensating. It's disgusting, ridiculous. To bring another human life into your fucking little bitch baby contest, I hate it. It's not something that I can put you against the wall for, yet. We're gonna work that into the legislation. We'll take it before the board. As if having children is truly what makes one a man. What makes one a man is standing up for what you believe despite what anybody else says. So it shouldn't matter if you guys are having a little slap fight on Twitter, right? It does. It really does. They both lay awake every night thinking about it. Probably playing with the pickle. All right, we're moving on.
What are you doing? I'm teaching you a lesson. I'll teach you a lesson. I'll teach you a lesson. I'll teach you a lesson.
An individual in my acquaintance shares things like this, as well as numerous adult anime and offensive meme. There's Satan girl in the corner with serial ender people, and there's a rabbit that just says people who like adult anime, where the girl gets SA'd by a fat, ugly man in front of her beaten up boyfriend. That is oddly specific. You got like some sort of degradation thing going on there, I guess. You're a submissive male, is what it is. I can smell the bitch on you even through the meme. Terrible.
Guess what? You're a bitch.
I mean, you do you, but yeah, that ain't for me. What the hell are you doing with your life? Whatever, enjoy it until your mom kicks you out. Next one. Don't let them take your man card. There's a lot of masculinity stuff going on here today. Remind me to tell you guys of a super masculine story that happened to me today a little later in the video. I might remember. Dale Partridge says, any man voting for Kamala is effeminate. He wants to be ruled by a woman. He wants babies to be unprotected. He wants feminism to progress. He wants government to care for him. This isn't a man being secure in his masculinity. This is a man abdicating his masculinity. Yeah, how could you let the vagina havers win? How could you? You were supposed to vote for our guy. We share a chromosome. And he continues, marriage is a one flesh covenant. This means your autonomy must die. Oh, God, please say it ain't so. You are to have one God, one local church, one bank account, one vision, one political position, one parenting philosophy, and where conflict arises, a wife is to submit to her husband. Ephesians 5:24. Okay, I guess I'll take these one at a time. As far as voting for Kamala, you seem to have invested a lot of your masculinity into, like, the political false dichotomy. It doesn't fucking matter, okay? You think it means something? It doesn't. Maybe Trump gets in there. Maybe we extend the downward spiral for an extra 4 years. But at the end of the day, you are a religious man, aren't you, Dale? I see you quoting the Bible and stuff. So check up on the book of Revelations. This world will belong to Satan before God comes in to sweep away the detritus. And unless you're getting raptured, you're going to be here to experience all that bullshit. I know I'm not getting raptured. I don't think you are either, Dale. Despite what you probably believe. I don't think you're as goodly a person as you like to think. And you know how I know? You know how I can always tell, no matter if people are coming from the right or the left, is the fact that they want to have control over somebody else's life. Let me increase my control over you, then I'll finally be satisfied. But they're never fucking satisfied. They're just going to take it a step further and a step further until you live in the pod and eat bugs and own nothing. How's that for one bank account? One world bank account! Getting into the second half of what you said here. One God, one local church, one bank account. I can agree with basically all of this, honestly. My wife and I, 100%, two halves of the same person. She's the left brain, analytical, orderly. I'm the right brain, just like creative and all artsy-fartsy, I guess.
Graphic design is my passion.
But does that make me less of a man to be artsy-fartsy? Probably it does. Oh no, they're gonna take my man card away, everybody. Oh no! It's fine, I printed it myself. I'll make another one. What the fuck? As far as autonomy dying, I think that you can be your own person while you're in a marriage. What Dale really means is that his wife must submit to him 100%. He doesn't know how to deal with the fact that she might want things outside of what he wants. Instead, you got to keep her under your thumb. Don't let her dream. You keep her barefoot and pregnant behind the stove, don't you, Dale? It's good to have separate spaces, okay? You need to have separate bedrooms. Sure, go ahead, you know? People can't exist around each other all of the time. Familiarity breeds contempt, okay? Oh, I guess that's funny because I don't know Dale at all, and already I'm quite contemptuous of him. I can only imagine how that would increase exponentially as we came closer together. Our hot mouths sensually touching. Oh, Dale left. He's gone now. That's all I had to say, and he ran out of the room. Somebody chase him down and revoke his man card. I'm having fun today. I'm glad we did this. I guess I could tell you about my man card story if you really want. Wifey woke me up She said, I'm going to go clean the gutters on the roof and I need you to hold the ladder. And I'm like, nah, you should just call somebody to do it. Because I read a tweet at some point last week that said, you know, this guy's making $200K and he fell off his roof and now he's a fucking vegetable. If you make over this amount, you should hire somebody to do it 100%. And I agree with that. I'm not getting on the roof. I don't want my wife to go on the roof. So I said, hire somebody. She's like, no, I'm just going to do it. So I roll my eyes. I follow her outside. I see the ladder and it's standing on top of a table. The table that I used to use as a computer desk years ago. At this point, I voiced my concern again. Hey, we should really call somebody to do this. This is not safe. She said, no, it's going to be fine. Just need to get up the ladder and onto the roof and everything's going to be normal and fine. And I said, yeah, until you try and get down. I do believe that we should call somebody. She ain't listen. So I hold the ladder on top of a stupid fucking table. She gets up there. It's all wobbly and terrible, but she keeps climbing. Nothing if not determined. Which I do admire, because I don't really have that inside of myself all the time. And about halfway up the ladder, she's just gotten her forearms onto the roof, and the table snaps in half. Ladder drops to the floor. I caught my wife. I did manage to scrape off like maybe 2 square inches of skin off my foot. Wifey felt so bad. She's like, I'll listen to you next time. I'm like, no, you won't. But she did make a really nice breakfast, so I guess, you know, we're winning in some ways. I was grateful I was able to save my wife. I was extra grateful that she came to me for help. Yeah, everything works out the way that it's supposed to, doesn't it? Anyway, thanks for listening to my story, if you did. It's just life things that goes on sometimes. But we're moving on. Pure cringe! Good night. I could feel it. After this night, she is going to be poggernant. And then we look at the picture, and it's a pillow.
I was having more fun at home with my body pillow.
I mean, you could stuff a smaller, like, throw pillow in there and play pretend if you want. It also looks like a suspiciously underage anime character, so I'm not going to linger on this too long. I can tell you're having exactly the life you deserve, so just continue on with that. Why would I interrupt? This neckbeard wants to do something real bad to an anime girl. You mean girl SA isn't legal? Jesus. I wish she was real so I could do that to her daily. She's so beautiful. It deserves to be bred. God.
Officer, right there.
FBI,
come on in, fella.
Yes, they really do enjoy their cartoon children, don't they? Fucking terrible. They left the at in there, so I'm gonna go check that out. I do like that they have anti-communist right in their about bio thing, but then you scroll their timeline and all it is fucking anime girls. So yeah, I don't think we'll get along too good. We agree on some things, just not to the point that apparently he wants to take it to. It's a terrible situation going on here. You should feel really bad about everything happening here. Here's some more. I missed the masculinity stuff. Can we go back to that? Do we have to go down the PDF file rabbit hole? I guess we do. Fine, great, super, whatever. We're strapped in. Average neckbeard logic. If you polish the Pope to a representation of a child, real or fictional, that is being a PDF file. Neither of these should be normalized or allowed.
Oh, but I could separate reality from fiction.
Okay, and it's still a child.
No, it's not. It's a drawing.
A drawing of? a picture of? Drawing is simply the method used to create this picture, so it is a picture of a child. The feelings elicited when you do whatever you do while looking at these images, those are real feelings, chemicals in your brain. You are granting yourself consent for if the situation ever arose in real life. And then you say, but anime girls aren't real, and I say, you're deflecting. You're deflecting and I see what's in your soul. It's fucking disgusting. You can deny the rot that festers inside you, that's fine, but everybody sees it for what it is, even if you're really good at hiding it. Jesus sees it for what it is. You have to deal with the guilt that's on your shoulders, and apparently you do that by lashing out at people that don't agree with you about these pictures of children. Clearly you're not going to see logic. Clearly you're determined to be a horrible human being, so what can I do except say my piece and move on? Goodbye! Good luck. Good riddance. Far-right paramilitary is selling body pillows of their pink-haired cat girl mascot to buy weapons. You know what? I'm in. A small Polish far-right paramilitary group is using a pink-haired cat girl as their mascot and selling body pillows of her to buy tactical equipment. This is the most 2024 thing I've read this month. Not a bad body pillow, honestly. Not quite as good as the ReddX double-sided body pillow that has a neckbeard on one side and Sailor Moon ReddX on the other. That's really the pinnacle of body pillows. Small, portable, you get a 2-for-1 in there. But I sort of like the cat girl thing. I like it even more when I know that the proceeds are going to be used to buy assault rifles. If I sell 20 body pillows in the next month, I'm going to buy myself an assault rifle as a treat. Good job, Poland. Motivating me to new and greater heights. Next post. Society. Yes, soy-society, right? When you waste Joaquin Phoenix's acting and Larry Sher's cinematography on a DC movie for incels. And it's the Joker forcing a smile, as I guess we all do. The movie itself wasn't that bad, but yeah, people just... no media literacy, can't really find an actual message. They just ascribe their own to it. There are some interesting themes of social inequality, but nobody wants to talk about that. There are some interesting things that the movie has to say about the media. Nobody wants to talk about that. The only thing people hyper-focus on is the mental health aspect, the bullying aspect, because that's what affects me most directly. Well, let me tell you this, Joker fanboys, you've been thinking of nothing but yourself for your whole life, and look how far it's gotten you. Maybe pull your head out of your ass and take a look around. That's just a suggestion from me to you. Respectfully. Yeah, we're moving on. This one is just sad, man, says OP. I'll be the judge of that. I'll inject some humor into it. It's fine. Forcible injection. Here we go. Anime fans, when they realize that women IRL don't have features so overly exaggerated that it's physically impossible for someone to have a body type their anime waifu has. Normies, when they realize not everyone is into blank and women who lack sexual dimorphism promoted by Hollywood. Wow, dude, that really took a left turn. Okay. Immediate reply 9 minutes later. People's interest shouldn't bother you as much as it does. If you aren't into them, why do you spend your time ranting about them rather than dating a woman who genuinely likes you and is your type? Well, you see, there are no women that would genuinely like him for him. Who he is horrible. He spends 15 hours a day watching anime, believes everything he reads on TikTok. You don't want to deal with him. It's not worth the trouble. Let him be forever alone, and trust me, it's better this way. Next post. The last message my sister-in-law got from a neckbeard after she called it quits. Oh boy. Hey, I just wanted to tell you that I never actually loved you, LMFAO. I was just using you to do it, and for a place to crash the whole time, lol. And every time I ever said I loved you, I was actually lying, and you were dumb enough to believe it. Truth is, you don't deserve love. Any wonder blank and that other guy ghosted you. And the only reason I kept begging you to take me back was so I could keep using you. Lol, bye. Yeah, okay. It sounds like a lot of butthurt cope, but if that makes you feel better, you go for it, Michael. I just know it's a Michael. Every douchebag is named Michael. This is like the aftermath of what would happen if you actually dated a nice guy. You know, he doesn't call you a whore immediately. It just happens, whatever, a month or two down the road. I guess we live and learn. That's just life. I'm on a dinner date. What do I say? He's so cute. I'm so nervous. It's that neckbeard body pillow. Hey! Still not as good as the ReddX brand one. Sorry, not sorry. This neckbeard must be from Alabama.
Oh, why did God make my little sister so hot?
Ew, ew, dude.
Holy shit! Did you just your sister?
If I'm not supposed to be attracted to her.
Dude, I can't help you. The only reprieve I can offer is this little pill. It's 9 millimeters. You have to inject it through your skull. At least once. More if possible. I hate this. Hate it! Moving on, and quick. Reginald says, what went wrong with marriage in this generation? Men don't trust women, and women feel like they don't even need men anymore. What the fuck was the spark to all of this? I mean, I could say it's a psyop, thinly veiled as third-wave feminism, simply used for the U.S. government to double the amount of taxpayers in the country. But somehow I don't think you'd like that answer. And anyways, the psyop's gone really sideways, as most government ops do. Domo actually has a better answer than I do, and he says, men have to now get women to like them, and a lot of men aren't likable. That's too real, honestly. Myself included. I don't know why a beautiful angel would allow me to spend all day, every day around her, but I'm so grateful. She saw through my hateful, hideous, monstrous outer shell into the soft, gooey center inside. My wife needs me, and I trust her, and, you know, also vice versa.
So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Domo's for real. Let's be honest about the situation. How many generations of men in history have ever had to get women to like them in order to have women be with them? We're probably the first to ever have this, so nobody knows what to do. What do I do? Give her money? I don't understand.
Give me your
We're 2 generations removed from a woman not being able to have a bank account without a man. 3 to 4 removed from when they couldn't buy a home, couldn't work, couldn't get educated, couldn't do shit without a man. Women quite literally used to need a dude. So they had to be with somebody, regardless of if they liked the man or not. Today, they truthfully don't. They can leave your ass and be perfectly fine. Hell, some of them might be better off. Damn, seems like a little bit of self-hatred going on here, but I can't say that he's completely wrong. A lot of dudes that I have known are fucking dogs. I hold myself to a different standard, personally, but yeah, that's not the worldwide consensus from what I've seen. Domo continues, your grandfather was probably a horrible husband. Factually untrue. I mean, no, wait, actually, you're right. My biological grandfather was a monster, but then when my grandma got remarried, that guy he's amazing. Grandma learned lessons and she did better, and that's what life is all about, I guess. Like, at best, he was probably emotionally distant and patriarchal. Dudes used to have 2 whole families miles apart of each other and was emotionally maltreating both. That's not flying today, and truthfully speaking, it shouldn't. 2 different what the hell? Where are we getting that from? Yeah, I saw it in a movie one time, so it probably did happen way back when nobody remembers. Yeah, I guess it probably did, but it's not the norm. Huh? Whatever. A lot of men want the same relationships they saw their families had, but never thought to ask, were the women happy in those situations? And the real answer is, a lot of them weren't. So fast forward to today, where a woman, truthfully speaking, don't need your ass. You gotta come harder than your ancestors. You gotta have some substance. You know? I don't know if I agree with everything that he said, but the root of the message is the message that I've been trying to get across to absolutely everybody. Develop a personality, okay? Become your own person before you want to pull somebody else into your shit pile. How about that? I think he said it a little bit more eloquently, but whatever, that's fine. I actually do want to see more of what this dude is about. He's got an interesting point of view, so I'm going to give him a follow over on Twitter. You should follow Dapper Domo. You should also follow me, @DaytonDoes. I appreciate you. We got a bunch of D's flying around. No homo. We're moving on. Neckbeard upset that real women don't look like anime waifus. Didn't we just fucking read this post? That's all of the posts in r/JustNeckbeardThings. You're not a man. You're not enough of a man to fuck your cartoon girlfriend. Okay, cool. Neat. Is it just me, or has the standards regarding female aesthetics gone down? Oh, you like that 50s beehive hairdo, do ya? You want to take your gal down to the malt shop and have a phosphorus, eh? What are you talking about? By that, I mean what men are attracted to when it comes down to women. It seems like now we have a culture that obsesses over thick women, who are more often than not fat and lack sexual dimorphism. One such trait is that their body lacks feminine curvature and instead is blocky, like a stick of butter, especially common among female athletes. Wait. We're calling female athletes fat? Do you? In the same sentence, he doesn't even know what he's talking about. He can't keep the point up for even more like 10 words. What? Fat and flabby, saggy boobas, and butt covered in cellulite. Now, if all these men were black, then at least it's something that makes sense. Boy, here we go. After all, black men aren't all that different from the apes. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
What did you say, Nick?
Please don't. Just, can we not today? Oh my God. It makes sense that they're willing to scrape the bottom of the feminist barrel for something, anything. I don't even know if we can keep this one in, man. This is fucked up. Their women look like chimps and are absolutely repulsive. So it's no surprise that these animals would want anything that is slightly better. Jeez, you really need, see what this boils down to is this OP really needs to feel superior to someone. Anyone! The problem is that he has nothing worth bragging about in his life, so he's decided to brag about something as basic as his skin color. If that's the thing that you have that you want to be proud over, okay, go ahead. Every group does it, you know, this is equality. I've been white my entire life. I can confirm that it's pretty neat. But there's a big difference between being proud of who you are and attacking other people. And maybe you should learn the difference. Of course he's not going to. We got many more people to attack. If this episode gets slapped down, this is the post that did it, but I'm committed now. They, like those Hindus who beg pink-nosed dolphins, have no standards and can't debase themselves since they're already debased animals. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, everybody's an animal except for me. I'm the only higher-thinking primate here. He continues, but when I see white guys obsessing over these thick or MILF women, I'm reminded of how disappointing modern soy society is. Yeah, stop liking things that I don't like. Why is this a problem for you? I don't understand. He doesn't either. He just needs a reason to be angry. Not to mention this whole culture that revolves around attacking men who want young, fertile females. Fertile females. There's a buzzword they use for this, despite them not knowing its actual definition. PDF files, yes. They just seem to have brainwashed or gaslighted men into thinking it's natural to want some all used up roasty whose chaunch is no different than that of a rotting beef sandwich. Yeah, except the uterus inside, I guess. Maybe you're getting a different type of beef, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I value a hyper-feminine female whose body is clearly sexually dimorphic from that of a male. I don't care for these thick, robust, curvy women who are really just androgynous gym freaks or fat whores. Oh, okay, so he's talking about athletes and also fat people. You're really niching down your options here, aren't you? I'd suggest that he look on the inside, but then possibly the other person would look into his insides, and yeah, that's not a good look. He compares human beings to animals and sandwiches regularly. He doesn't think twice about it. There's little to no hope for him, okay? A lot of Norther European women, for example, have very masculine-looking faces, i.e. very blocky looking. It's quite off-putting to me. You know, that's just because you weren't raised playing Roblox. If you played more Roblox, then you might actually find yourself getting into it. That's actually the end game. Roblox is a Russian psyop. Not to mention, black women look like and are literal baboons. Absolutely repulsive. Even their body is like that of a monarchy with its butt sticking out. Okay, whatever, we get it. You're scared of dark chocolate. Can we move on now? He never will. I think there's this weird obsession with Asian women. God. I told you, everybody's getting it, I guess. Despite most of them looking like literal bugs. It's called neoteny. Flat faces, alien eyes, and nothing of note on their body. Many have the body of a boy, with little to no feminine curvature. Oh my god, dude, make up your mind. I don't want that chick, she's too fat. That one doesn't have any hips. That one looks like a bug, a baboon, a pink-nosed dolphin. Okay, forever alone. That's where you go, okay? That or against the wall. Those are your options. Feminine curvature is different from what many people call curvy, which is just fat. Japanese women may be the exception to this rule, but even many of them are rather unremarkable, TBH. Yeah, definitely trust this fucking do-nothing nobody dude for the barometer of what's remarkable or not. How about just something that you enjoy? Would that be okay? That's what most people go for. I think it's a matter of diet that is making women look more masculine, along with eugenics not being enforced to breed the most feminine women we can. God, dude. Just he's full of great ideas. Get rid of red dye number 40 and bring back eugenics. Cool. Now it's all fixed. Not to mention, the upper echelons of society go far beyond chicks with dogs and enact some Kabbalistic inversion of gender. Oh, that's what this is really all about. I don't like that Megan Fox dresses up all her sons as girls. You know what? I sort of agree with you there. It's creepy and weird. But I'm not gonna let it fuck my whole life up. What? It's none of my business. It's fine. But it's not like white women are all that better. Oh, see? Everybody gets it. Who did we miss? Just the Hispanics, I guess. Maybe that's the answer. He could find himself a nice mamacita. And you better believe she'll get herself out of there quick, fast, in a hurry once she sees what he really is. Many of the white women are aging far too quickly and looking far too masculine. See? None of these magical combinations can make him happy because the problem is not outside, it's inside. There's case where I'd prefer a Japanese woman over a white woman, simply because the former at least can look feminine and not like a gender-bent guy I'd come across in public, being curvy while have a midsection not all that different from a man. I mean, just look at Hollywood. Most of those women look like men. I mean, Hollywood women look like Hollywood men because androgyny, but you get out in the real world and see like a hairy coal miner? No, there's no way that any woman looks like that. And it's a shame that we don't have an actual patriarchy that breeds women to be hyper feminine, like anime waifus.
I see. You're a man of culture as well.
Well, you said it. That's really all he wants, guys. No real woman will ever be enough. So go be with your anime waifu. Leave the rest of us the fuck alone. That would be ideal, but most men IRL are gay lords who prefer these masculine butch creatures we have now. Bro, I don't know what the hell kind of women you're looking at, but the ones that I know, they're small, they're petite, they smell nice. I'm not all that big into, you know, big girls or gym girls, but surely you can at least appreciate the natural beauty for what it is, can't you? Nope, not this guy. He only wants anime girls. Beautiful and of reasonable size. Instead, we're breeding muscle mommies, thick women, and goblinas. Oh, all of a sudden it's we are doing that, collectively. I'm not buying into all that shit. I married a beauty. Sucks to be you, that's all I know. The images attached below will show some examples of this weird, blocky body that lacks dimorphism, not to mention shoulders being quite broad and or oddly masculine faces. I wouldn't be surprised if they were in fact trans, not to mention even far back in time, centuries prior, many based figures turned out to be either gay or married the transsexuals. It's unreal how the tribe manages to invert reality every step of the way. Yeah, just a nice dash of anti-Semitism at the end. Beautiful. The perfect melange for a PSYOP post. I see what this is. Is that you out there again, CIA? Stop leading people to the dark side, I told you before. I think the most hilarious part of the post is he just comes after everybody. I don't like these people because this, but I also don't like anybody else because other things. Oh, okay. Then I guess you'll never be happy until we have our anime waifu breeding program. It's not going to happen. We can engineer cat girls. That's within the scope of current day science, but I don't know, man. They're pretty bitey. They're needy, you know. It sounds like a lot of fun until you have one in the lab. She won't leave you alone, pushing flasks off the fucking table and stuff. Ah, it's terrible. I had to throw them all into a big pillowcase and throw them in the river. That was a sad day. I don't even know if I could get into anything else after that. What's going to be more ridiculous than that? Her, I wonder if he's thinking about other pillows. Him, if I go to sleep, who'll defend Elon Musk online?
I'm just gonna say it, Elon's the go. Sorry.
Neckbeard found a girlfriend.
I pity everyone who isn't us,
said my girlfriend between her 25th and 26th release of the night.
This reads like someone who's never done it before writing an adult video script. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm tired around 5 or 6, okay? Maybe you should practice something more tantric instead of trying to put on a fireworks show, but I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Biologically 15. Logically, never. That's a very ominous post title.
What's the ideal age to get married? Biologically, it's 15.
Kaz he's a gross guy.
Socially 26, legally after 18, culturally 24 to 28, economically above 30, and logically never.
You can tell why Kaz is never getting married, right? He likes to pretend that it's his choice, and we let him because it makes him feel better, but yeah, everybody finds you to be a disgusting individual. Cut the thread, Johnny says, 15-year-olds are not biologically ready. What the hell is wrong with men? I mean, a lot, but I guess we could start here. Anybody that's going after somebody biologically 15, it's because they themselves are deeply insecure, so they're looking for somebody who's inexperienced, so they don't realize what a bad human being and probably lay that significant other is. Because they're only 15, you see. I'll put him up against the wall right now. Ain't nobody gonna miss him. You think I go tell Kaz's mom he's gone forever? She's gonna cry? No, she's gonna be like, thank you. Thank you so much. Here's a comic made by Neckbeards for Neckbeards. This is such a bad decision. Oh my god, you got a tattoo, you know that's permanent, right? You're gonna regret it when you're older, just watch. And then the fourth panel of this comic is an old lady with many sleeve tattoos, and they say, wow, Grandma, you look like you just crawled out of a trailer park, you dumb
Can I have some of your bread?
Hi, handsome, you can't have my bread, but you can have something of mine that smells like bread.
Oh, wow. I mean, tattoos have sort of fallen out of the cultural zeitgeist, as it were. But there are some people still out there doing it, and probably there will be grandmas someday. And the beautiful red rose tattoo that they got once upon a time, well, it's gonna look like a shredded axe wound. But maybe that's more metal, you know? Maybe that's better if you're into it. I think the comic said, like, wow, Grandma, you look so cool or something before they edited it, but this way is way funnier just because of the hyperbole. I don't care if you have tattoos or not, but if you are going to have them, realize that one day they'll probably get saggy and gross. Thanks so much. Here's Trump and Elon Musk jumping around like a child on stage. And Lucille says, this is the king of getting no bitches. I Am Cybersmith comes in to defend his beloved Elon, saying, Elon Musk has had 6 children by 3 different breeding vessels, if I recall correctly. Breeding vessels. He empirically, verifiably does get women. Not the word you used. That's a bad word. It is. Cybersmith, he's out here calling women breeding vessels, but respectfully, you see? The thing you said, that's a naughty word. I can call them pieces of lab equipment, that's just fine. I don't know, bro. Maybe it's not worth going this hard for Elon. Maybe, just maybe, he doesn't know who you are and doesn't give a fuck about you. Same with Trump, same with every politician, really. That's why I don't respect the process at all. Anyway, next post. The girl who rejects me must be loose. Bible Neckbeard edition. She lusted after lovers with pieces as large as donkeys and emissions like those of a horse. Wow. Ezekiel. Becky, do you want to go out? No thanks, Needledick. And then Ezekiel started scribbling furiously. I mean, the cool part is that he kind of took his vengeance without naming her specifically. Now nobody remembers who Becky is. She dies nameless while Ezekiel carries on throughout the ages. I think we know who's really winning here. The girl that got the horse junk. It happens. Somewhere in Brazil it happens. When I was a little child, I had unfettered access to the internet and saw things that I probably shouldn't have saw. Unfortunately, Ezekiel can't fix this. I'm gonna have to talk directly to Jesus. If women didn't have V's, then we would hunt them for sport. I'm convinced that if women didn't have V's or boobers, then men would spend 0 time talking to or courting women. Am I right, or am I damn right?
Yeah. If women didn't have V's, then we'd hunt them for sport like we hunt deer.
Wow. The thing he said was weird, but the thing that you said made it way weirder. Also, the fact that he's wearing hunting gear and all this stuff, I don't know, man. Ominous, to say the very least. I can't look at this for too long. We're moving on. Found on Insta. Who will she date? Bjorn, 6'5", blue eyes, convicted felon, also a maltreater. Suresh, kind, loyal, 5'4". Well, this is some airtight science going on, isn't it? Look at these 2 people I made up. Now make this imaginary lady pick the more attractive one. Is that really all it's based on? I'm not going to say that looks don't matter at all, because that's a lie. But if Bjorn's a maltreater, like, how long is she actually going to stay with him? Besides all that, I guarantee you Suresh has some weird stuff going on, okay?
Send me, I want to see your I want to see.
If you can make up things about these people, and so can I. He didn't put it on his dating profile because he's an intelligent human being. But just don't ask him what he does on Thursday nights, alright? Next post is titled, Women Are Not Property. that's true. Woman says, cheating on a pregnant woman is just a different level of evil. Well, it is, but so is making a man unknowingly raise another man's child, which I've seen before, so...
You are not the father.
We could go tit for tat if you really want to. Oh, and we have talked both about tits and tats in this video so far. That's nice. This dude quotes that post and says, if your car is in the shop, would you not rent a car? You know, in Japan, it's kind of normalized for husbands to go and get what they need from ladies of the night if wives aren't willing to deliver. I was told, and I quote, if you are going to cheat, I'd rather you do it with a professional.
Konnichiwa! Daisuki desu! Ya ne!
And I cringed out of my skin. Anyway, he continues, the rental feels new and exciting, but all we have our minds on is the old car being fixed and brought back to us, fully operational again. Yeah, so I can ride those brakes all the way down the freeway, you know? That's ridiculous. Be a human being, understand. She is giving up her time and her energy and, yeah, large parts of herself to bring this human being that contains your DNA into the world. So maybe show a little bit more respect, you know? Yank the crank if you really got to. Truth is, if you're with a person that would cheat on you while you're pregnant, then yeah, you're probably with the wrong person. But sometimes we don't know until much later down the road. But as soon as you find out, you need to leave. That's no respect right there. Anyway, moving on. Elon Musk is still this guy. Oh, he's balding, and that means he's a bad person, everyone. Yeah, I mean, people generally get this image of themselves in their mind's eye, and it has a lot to do with their upbringing, right? Like, I still see myself as a fat kid. Plus side of that is fat jokes really don't hurt me. Downside of it is my self-esteem is just through the floor most days. Even when I, you know, had my growth spurt and all my fat evened out and I was a pretty good-looking kid, I still felt like a fat kid. Now, luckily, I am adding some fat onto my taller, lankier frame, so I guess everything reaches an equilibrium. One day, Elon Musk's hair plugs will fall out, too. I don't care whether it happens or not. Like, you got the Elon Musk fanboys on one hand, and you got the people who froth at the mouth whenever they hear his name on the other hand, and yeah, I'm just off somewhere in the middle in the woods. I really don't care. But ReddX, you have to carry, he's using Twitter for evil! Yeah, and he bought it. If you buy something, you can do evil with it. That's how these things work. What do you think, I'm gonna sit here and pretend that I'm the arbiter of what's good or bad? I have no fucking idea. Maybe many other people on the planet should admit the same and just stay in their own goddamn lanes, you know? We'd be in a lot better position, but I digress. We move on to the next post. Incel in the wild. The fact that there will be billions of women who look like the left, black lady, this century, and only a few million who look like the right, white lady, should radicalize you beyond measure. Yeah, that's super radical, gnarly, tubular. Why does it matter? Standards of beauty are different all over the world, okay? Maybe you do a little bit of traveling, get outdoors, and you realize that sometime. Like coming to the Philippines, you know, my wife, she's a morena. She's a little bit darker than the Chinitas. The locals here, they all go nuts for that white skin. Oh, everybody gotta date a Chinita. They don't understand why I would date a morena. But to me, that's more attractive because it's different than the thing that I see every day. For her, probably the same, but inverse. All you're doing here is driving yourself crazy over a beauty standard that really doesn't even exist outside of our own minds or cultures, you know? You think every black woman looks like that girl on the left? You picked the worst example. You think every white woman looks like that girl on the right? Again, you picked the worst example. I understand you're trying to make your little point and whatever, but I see right through it. I won't be radicalized, at least not regarding something as stupid as this. You want to abolish the Federal Reserve, get at me. Anyway, Neckbeard sent me this. I love my farts 9000. That's a great name, honestly. Only if it's ironic, which in this case I fear it might not be. Anyways, he says, hey, I just wanted to say that as a white male,
Thank you, smiley face. White women reject me for being short and bald, and if it wasn't for Asian women, I'd be turning to drugs or alcohol. So you accept any white guy, so thank you.
Yes, indeed. Great insight here from user I Love My Farts 9000. Come on, ladies, step right up. He's short, bald, racist, and he loves his own farts. You'll learn to love him too.
Disgusting!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is like some soft trolling attempt or something like that. Although maybe he is actually being sincere, because I've seen some low to no value dudes come over here and be able to pull, and they're just shocked that they're able to pull. It's funny to watch, honestly. It's like you spend your whole life being a dirtbag, and then you come over here and people don't realize that you're a dirtbag, at least not until it's too late. Tale as old as time, true as it could be. I'm moving on. Welcome to 2024, ladies and gentlemen. Do I have to play as a girl? I choose to play as a girl. Oh, it's like 2 different video games. You got Stellar Blade on the bottom and then something else on the top. I guess they don't like the one on the top because the girl's not as attractive or anime-ified as the girl on the bottom. Also, Asmongold is a really weird dude. I'd like to do an episode on him. He has a Shin Sonic living in his house, is what I heard. We'll have to see what comes of it. Me personally, when I played World of Warcraft, I roll female characters all the time. Who cares? When it comes to armor sets, human male shoulder pieces are way too big. Human female shoulder pieces look better. Just my thought. Did you hear that Tim Walls is going to play some World of Warcraft to court the gamer vote? Off topic, but he's definitely going to get called words that he's never heard before. Actually, he's probably used some of those words himself. He's old enough, isn't he? Whatever, we're moving on. This guy really thinks that's a flex.
We got a 20-year age gap. She's 21 and I'll be 41 next month.
Yeah, well, that's a choice you made, I guess.
Don't settle for some single mom with even one kid that isn't yours. You're better than that. You could easily find a wife who's in her prime and has never been with another man.
Let me tell you something, a little secret. That girl has definitely been with men before you. 21 years old and she claimed to be a virgin? I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second.
And stick to conservative women who respect themselves and you'll find your queen. Black diamonds on Black Friday, baby. Hashtag passport bros.
Oh, that poor unfortunate woman. And I don't say that just because, you know, he's fat and kind of gross. I'm fat and kind of gross. I got a hot Asian wife, but I don't introduce her by going, well,
I'm 20 years older than her. Check out this age gap, guys. Isn't that cool?
No, that just means that there's a power imbalance. Why don't you share with us how long you've actually been together? Oh, less than a year? Then I don't give a shit. If it's more than 5 years, then yeah, you're probably gonna do some jail time, huh? But we all know that's not the case. They've been dating for 6 months and he's like, oh, she's totally the one. You're an idiot. He can't last any longer than 6 months. Nobody wants to be around him for an extended period. Because he's weird. Self-identified passport bros are fucking weird. I said it, I don't care. If you want to, you know, leave the country and go find somebody more suited to you who you can build a life with, that's fine. I did that. But if you're going to be like, I'm passport bros, bro. Like, that's cringe. Anyway, moving on. Oh no, the woke infection turned her from an attractive woman to an attractive woman with slightly different hair.
Before and after the woke infection.
Oh my god, she's wearing a jean jacket. And then, because she got woke, she had to take the jean jacket off. And then when she was taking the jean jacket off, it shaved the side of her head somehow. I don't understand. I used to have the biggest crush on a girl in high school who shaved her head. She only kept, like, the bangs. It was punk as shit. Now my tastes are a bit different. They've changed. But you can surely still see the appeal in both of these pictures, right? Although I would not tell the one with the shaved head on the right where my house is because she might burn it down at some point. That's not the woke mind virus. That's just being crazy. And in my experience, women who deign to shave their heads A little bit crazy. A little bit crazy sometimes. Don't be offended. See the truth in my words. Anyway, moving on. Weird age gap seeking neckbeard. Oh, we found him. He's that 41-year-old with the 21-year-old. This has all got to like some big Lucas Werner vibes, you know? Gen X seeking Gen Z or whatever the hell it is he says. College campus is still a gold mine. 34-year-old back after 5 years, day game. From r/seduction. Oh, that's where the pickup artists are hiding out? We gotta head over there. See some of that cringe, don't we?
Oh, boys! I'm back!
This is a field report, by the way. No one can convince me this isn't the best place to cold approach women. They're everywhere, lol. Already got 3 dates in 2 weeks. Yeah, because college chicks are hungry. That's what that is. She's gonna go with you to eat, and then that's it. Thanks for the meal. It was better than eating ramen. What's crazy is I'm holding girls hostage for 10 to 20 minutes chatting. I don't know if hostage is the correct term to use there. I mean, it's good that he knows. At least he's slightly self-aware. That's terrible, though. But I've been rejected hella times, man. And I have more numbers with no replies. You wanna know why that is? Because you're fucking weird. You jam me up for 20 minutes like I'm on my way to class. Leave me alone. Here's a fake number. I gotta go. I gotta run more tomorrow as I'm trying to get about 6 girls to date and lay. It's so easy to chat and get dates. I'm terrified how good I'm 5 years later. Yeah, I'm good, guys. You better believe me. I'm so good that I'm gonna go brag about it on Reddit.
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
Oh, neat. What sucks is that the approach anxiety still kicks my ass. I've only been able to approach about 7 to 15 girls a day. I want to approach 30 or more a day while out. Yes, please help me, Reddit. I'm looking to double the amount of women that I harass in a day. Like, obviously you're not that good if you've still got approach anxiety. How about you just walk over there and treat them like a normal human being, you know? A little flirty. Drop a little double entendre, see if she's feeling it. If not, then you walk away. You don't even have to ask for the number. He doesn't know that. He's not reading any social cues. He's got his little cold calling script. Hello, female specimen. Are you heading to class? Might I accompany you? No, you're weird. Your whole energy is awkward. Get away from me. 3 dates in 2 weeks? How much time are you spending doing this? I think you could get 3 dates in 2 weeks just hanging out anywhere. Mall, coffee shop, who cares? One of the best places to go is Disneyland. I got 3 dates in 1 day at Disneyland during Raver Day. God, it must have been just before I left for the Navy. Good times, good times. Yeah, and I didn't have any approach anxiety, because I'm shameless. But if you're gonna be shameless, then you gotta be buttery smooth.
Smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover.
This guy will never be buttery smooth, therefore, he can do it with a bit more shame. Anyway, we're moving on. People with height are now PDFs, shaking my head. To him, height-wise, she's a child. Bro clearly has PDF tendencies. 6'8" with my 4'11" wife making sandwiches in the kitchen. Yeah, weird. Why do you have to take it there immediately? Sure, it's the case sometimes. But as long as you're not selecting your partner only based on their height, I think it's fine. It's not like he saw she was 4'11". He's like, I'm 6'8". I'll look like a monster next to you. Oh. No, they probably went on a date, laughed about their height differences, and decided to have a relationship together. Is that so wrong? What about this exactly offends you? I'll tell you what offends you about it. The fact that you're projecting. You see shades of yourself in this, and it's a thing that you desire, but you'll never get it. So you want to make him seem like the bad guy, so you can swoop in and rescue her from this guy that has clearly only been using her for her stature. They don't live together. They didn't get married. She doesn't make him sandwiches. The way you're posing this is like if it's a purely physical relationship, which clearly it isn't. So shut up, go away, get your mind out of the gutter, stop being gross, thanks so much. I wish they would have included who said it. Because I'd love to go dig around through their social medias and flesh out my theory, but maybe next time. The only way to fix Ubisoft. Pirate Nation posts a 4chan thread that says, "You're now the CEO of Ubisoft. How do you save the company?" And then Nate Hodebray says, "First day as CEO, fire anyone with pronouns in bio, brightly colored hair, overt activism on their public social media profiles, the entire HR team. Results, costs get cut by 60% from laying off all the useless dead weight and keeping only meritorious devs." Yeah, like somebody who doesn't have brightly colored hair can't possibly be lazy. I am the living proof that you are wrong. My hair's not colored and I'm lazy as hell. Games get made for gamers and not a screeching activist minority. Customers like games again instead of actively rejecting them. Congratulations, Ubisoft is highly profitable again. Truth is, I don't think anybody cares that much about politics of a video game developer. As long as the game is fun. As long as the game doesn't strong-arm you into trying to think this or that. Like, one of the most recent ham-fisted games was Dustborn.
A motley crew of misfits embark on a fateful road trip to discover their true power.
I mean, Concord is also an example at this point, but yeah, everybody talks about it. That's the biggest dumpster fire anybody's seen in gaming in decades, truly. And as far as Ubisoft goes, I play a lot of Rainbow Six Siege. There was quite some backlash when they put in a wheelchair operator, but essentially they're just playing Rainbow Six Siege 2 in their wheelchair, so I guess whatever, who cares? I like the game for the gunplay, not because all of the operators are able-bodied. That's stupid. But yeah, a lot of these more indie, more SJW type of games are funded by like government grants and things like that. If you start to go down the rabbit hole and follow the money trail, things do start to get a little bit weird. I made a video on it when Sweet Baby Inc. was a thing, but I decided to pull back on it because, yeah, that's probably going to light a bunch of fires that I'm not willing or prepared to put out at the moment. So I didn't put it out. I scrapped the video, which I've only done like 2 or 3 times in my entire YouTube career. Whatever. As far as fixing Ubisoft goes, don't. Pull it all apart, sell it piece by piece at auction, and, you know, the investors will be pissed off. But who cares? You invest in Ubisoft. Like, obviously you're not that smart of a person. You think you're deserving of reward for your poor choices? Anywho, here's another comic, playing some 8-bit. Man, I can't wait for next-gen graphics. Yeah! Then they're playing some PlayStation. They say, man, I can't wait for next-gen graphics. Yeah! Then they're playing some PlayStation 3. Man, I can't wait for next-gen graphics. Yeah! And then there's PlayStation 5. And the main character looks like an ogre beast. It sort of loops back into the Concord thing that I talked about earlier. And while I can agree that representation is not necessarily a bad thing, video games are supposed to be like some form of escapism, you know? If I'm an ugly ogre beast in real life, I'd rather boot up my PlayStation and pretend that I'm not. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on that. Different strokes for different folks. The market will decide. And indeed, the market has been deciding. That's why AAA devs are, well, they're in big trouble. Once again, I say, do you expect to be rewarded for your poor decisions? You're not as smart as you think you are. This neckbeard thinks victims of a female PDF were lucky. Vile teacher who did it with 2 pupils is jailed. Oh man, those kids were so lucky.
This is serious. We need to track this student down and give him his luckiest boy in America medal right away.
I don't think so. If we're going to say that women are not biologically ready at 15, then we have to stay consistent. When I was in 8th grade, my English teacher, I think she had eyes for me, but it never went to this point. I was always sort of weirded out by it. Looking back, it might have been slightly inappropriate. Looking back, it might have changed me in some irrevocable ways. This guy thinks it's that South Park episode where you go down to the police station to report that the teacher's been doing it with kids and she's a lady and everybody goes, nice.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
It's not nice. It's disgusting. Society's finally waking up to that, and maybe that means that we're winning a little bit sometimes. Neckbeard thinks that he's cracked this woman's dating profile code.
What a woman's dating profile really means. Adventurous equals hoe. Wild equals a drinking or drug problem. Beautiful eyes, fat. Athletic equals no bazoombas. Curvy equals fat.
What if she has beautiful eyes and it's also curvy? Is it double fat? Double plus fat?
Boss girl equals disagreeable / annoying. Alpha woman equals bossy AF. Bubbly equals won't shut up. 39 equals 50. Progressive equals miserable feminist. What else?
No, I think you got the ladies pretty covered. Do we want to do the men next? If he puts gamer in his profile, that means he's fat. If he puts Sigma, that means he's a racist. Logical, that just means he's lacking in empathy. Masculine, that means he's got severe anger issues. If he mentions anything about seeking a traditional woman, you need to turn and run because, yeah, he expects you to agree with him on everything, do all the chores, also pay some of the bills. I've seen it before. It's all old hat at this point. And yes, indeed, two can play at the game that you're playing at. So just be careful out there. That's what I'll say. Her, I wonder if he's thinking about other pillows. Him, if I go to sleep, who'll defend Elon Musk online?
I'm just gonna say it, Elon's the go. Sorry.
It's pretty good. It's that guy and girl laying in bed, only this time the girl's a pillow! I'll be honest, outstanding. Well memed, my friend. Next post. This one's a neckbeard warning sign. People who address girls as females cannot be trusted. I mean, unless they were in the military. No, you can't even trust the military, really. They're willing to kill complete strangers because some politician told them to. So no, I don't trust them either. It's generally not a very good look. Unless we're speaking in like scientific terms. That's the only case in which I allow it. I will allow a lot of things for science, even just trace amounts. Anyway, moving on. This neckbeard has a question for Reddit. It's again from r/seduction. The signs are all there. We need to go.
How to touch a woman's honker donkers. So the line I came up with is, I don't mean to be rude, and I certainly don't want to be creepy, but I gesture by bringing my hands up and cupping them around the breast area. Are amazing.
I certainly don't want to be creepy, but are amazing.
Then after she blushes and says thanks, follow up with, I don't mean to be out of line, but would it be okay if I could have a feel? So what do you think? What do I need to tweak to make it work?
It's never going to work, okay?
That don't work.
The only time that I've gotten to have a feel was when a girl had breast implants. I said, I don't know what that feels like. I can't tell the difference. And she said, have a squeeze. And then I felt like the weird bag inside there. And I'm like, oh yeah, I don't like implants. That feels gross. Although maybe technology has improved in the 15 to 20 years since that day. God, I hope so. The fact that he says he doesn't want to be creepy really doesn't help with the creepiness of this situation. Do you think she's going to blush and say thanks when you do that? Or is she going to be like, gross, don't comment on my body ever again? Because I do have a theory. You're going to end up getting knocked in the mouth or have the cops called on you. Either or both of which you would actually deserve at this point. If it's time to cop a feel, you'll know when it's time to cop a feel. It's not going to happen in the middle of a grocery store line. Fucking cum-brained weirdo. Anyway, next. We've got a neckbeard incel complaining about Western women and telling his fellow incels to join him in Asia. To be worshipped by Asian women. Can we this is like terrible advice. Can we not do this? There's already so many of these fucking guys out here. I hate it. Last weekend, my wife and I went out with her lesbian friends to a bar, and I think her sister was there too. And these three really fat, frumpy-looking white dudes came in, and they just started to mean mug. Me and all the ladies are playing pool, and they're just sitting there, like, completely salty about it. Like, bro, we are literally in a bar. You could buy any chick in the bar. You just walk over there. But somehow, even then, they don't have what it takes to approach. Do you really think the answer is glaring at somebody who's having a nice time, hoping that you'll also have a nice time by osmosis? They left after about like 15 to 20 minutes, didn't buy the girls a drink or anything. I mean the bar girls. I'm sure the women that I were with would not have accepted. Those dudes are gross. Like, dude, I understand that you're cruising for toots and stuff, but put on a fucking collared shirt, you know? Like, take some pride in your appearance at the very least. I can't remember what the graphic on his t-shirt was, but it was a wrinkled-ass graphic tee with like some nasty cargo shorts. Terrible. Terrible. Anyway, we'll get into the post now.
Western girls are all over TikTok and Instagram complaining that men are not after them anymore, that we are not dating anymore. Where are the good men? I have the answer. Good and bad men have had enough of the over-expectations and lack of respect from the Western girls, and they all come to Pattaya. If you know a friend who's heartbroken, desperate, and needs care, bring him here. That's right. I've got not one, but 2 bar girls. Did you know that the lady drinks cost over $10 each? That's right. I'm balling out here with my $20. Make sure to get a picture so I can post it on the internet. I don't know how pathetic your life has to be. Surely he will find happiness with this string of ladies of the night, right? I'm sure some people do find fulfillment that way, but I don't know. I much prefer building a life and a future with another person. And this dude, yes, he totally does look like a creep. Those girls, it's unfortunate. He's like shopping at the bargain bin or something. These are like low to mid-tier Thai girls as far as that goes. The one on the left might be hiding a secret surprise, but it's not for me to say truly. Maybe he's into that, you know? Go have the time of your life. That's all I'm saying. I will ask one favor, though. Please fucking leave me out of it. Neckbeards would rather gatekeep fandom from women than go to therapy. This girl says, if men's mental health mattered to men, they'd be creating safe spaces for themselves and each other, pursuing therapy and creating community. Instead, they perpetuate the very behavior systems that handicap them in the first place, refuse to support or create community amongst each other, severely damage the women in their lives who try to care for them, and attack women online for not doing the work for them in replies to tweets like the one below, which basically just says men's mental health matters a whole bunch of times. I think this chick is painting with an awfully big brush, but the retort doesn't help matters. Men had Star Wars, women invaded. Men had sci-fi, women invaded. Men had video games, women invaded. Men had D&D, women invaded. Men had comics, women invaded. Men had men's-only clubs, women invaded. The only thing men have anymore is either solitary or you fuss at us for.
Yeah. I'm going down to the Spearmint Rhino, the gentleman's club. Stop fussing at me. I'm trying to be a gentleman. I think it's perfectly allowed to have your own little friend circle. The circle of dudes that I've built around myself don't have anything to do with, well, nerd shit is essentially what you're describing. Go to the gym, lift some weights, find some camaraderie, you know? Men's mental health does matter, but if your only form of mental health care is like escapism, sci-fi, Star Wars, video games, then you probably need to do a little more work within yourself, okay? That's just my handy hint for life. I ain't got no more to say, so we're gonna move on. Neckbeard really doesn't like women in their 40s.
Everyone else thinks they're sad and pathetic old women trying to compete with 18-year-olds at the club, but they're just that oblivious. That group of 40-year-old chicks at the bar who's ready to settle down.
Man, dude, can people just go to the club and have a nice time? I'm pushing 40. Sometimes I want to go to the club. I don't dance or drink like I used to, but you know, I'll do a little two-step, a little shuffle side to side. Don't fucking judge me for it, all right? I'm here to have a good time just like you. Except he's not here to have a good time. He's standing on the wall hoping that some woman will come talk to him eventually. It's never gonna happen. They can smell your hatred from across the room. This tweet had to be written by a living Fedora, said OP.
I promise you that no boy would find the experience of being touched by an older female traumatizing, so I'm kindly asking my followers to withdraw their support for female PDF files.
Well, you found about the weirdest hill to die on, that's what I'll say. What is going through your head? Tweets like this can really only be made by somebody who is unattractive enough to have never been touched by a woman unwillingly. I told this story a few times, but one time I'm walking down the street in Roppongi, Japan, and this lady of the night comes up and grabs my junk, and yeah, I felt violated. I hate that. You think I'm here to pay you and participate in such acts? No, you gotta pay me now. You just coming here handling the goods for free? What the fuck? Yeah, no, I'm not gonna sign off on any of this. I'm just gonna move into the next post. I got standards. Oh, it's Bubble Bass.
She gotta be skinny, thick butt, big bazooms, low maintenance, no male friends, have a job, cook, clean, and show me what that mouth do, or she ain't got a chance with me.
Who the f do you think you are?
No, whoa.
Darn, that's a real missed opportunity, isn't it? I guess you'll just have to be single forever, but hey, let's pretend that it's your choice so it feels a little better. And that loops us back into the first post, and I think that means the episode's done.
I strongly prefer Axe body spray to taking a shower.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Made me think of this sub. Rod Effects says, nerds, I hate CalArts shows like Steven Universe because they're just pandering. And then Anime comes along and says, whoops, I've been transported to an alternate dimension where being good at video games and watching anime has made me competent, important, and desirable. Nerds. Oh my god, this is a fucking masterpiece! You're too real. You're too real for saying that, to be honest. Why have I not seen this tweet before? Okay, anyway, moving on. Women and their shuffles deck. Pants? This is Roosh. And he says, pants were invented for men, not women. It's impossible for a woman to wear pants, jeans, yoga pants, dress pants, leggings, dungarees, etc. What about corduroys? Without sexualizing her body, since they highlight her legs, curves, and the rear end. Oh, women who want to be modest should not own pants at all. Echoplex Media comes in and says, yeah, that's a lot of words for nobody will bang me. Pants? That's where we're gonna draw the line? Women in pants? Biggest struggles we got, women in pants. You heard it right here.
You're taking your pants off in public. Oh my god! They're halfway down, what do I do?
It's not the pants' fault that you can't stop looking, that you gotta make it weird, okay? Maybe just fix some things inside your brain first. Stop being the way you are. I'd appreciate it. A guy I work with won a competition that Kit Kat was doing. He got to choose his own design to be made, and he put the Neckbeard guy on it. And the customized text is, "M'lady." You've gone so far for the meme, and you gotta respect the hell out of that. we do it big out here. Waifu material right there. We got a couple of bumblebees, and the dad bumblebee said, that can't be your girlfriend, son. It's just plastic. It ain't even real. And then son says, it's real to me, Dad. Well, we're only seeing this meme come more and more into fruition, and really it's terrifying, but also fascinating on some level. Anyway, this OP says, I call it cringe speak. Is nervous. Whoa, hello, Neckbeards. Is this an acceptable way to talk? And not really, no. I miss man with butterfly meme. Can we get more of those? I'd appreciate it. This one title must have been the father's fault. Mommy? Are you trying to say mommy? M'lady. Baby found in dumpster. Yeah, I'm not dealing with this for the next 30 years. Thanks, but no thanks. That's hilarious, dude. Like, don't actually throw your baby in the dumpster, because in real life that's horrible, but in a webcomic it is hilarious. Anyway, moving on. Want to hear a scary story, m'lady? One sentence horror story.
Seems like we're the last two people on Earth, m'lady. No! Tumblr tells a scary story.
I mean, it's terrifying for, Tumblrites. I think the 4chan neckbeards will be rather excited about it. They'll be like, hey,
we gotta repopulate the planet.
It's like, no, I think I'd rather just let humanity, like, we had a good run, didn't we? This one titled Revenge of the Nerd. I enjoy rejecting women. And then he tagged it with conflicted and advice. So maybe you don't enjoy it as much as you think you do. Maybe you've never actually experienced it except in your own head. Whatever. It's what the title said. I'm not sure why. Probably pent-up resentment from when I was a fugly, awkward nerd. Yeah, I noticed we talking in the past tense there. Are you sure that's completely accurate? If you could just clarify that for me, that would be great.
I get an immense amount of pleasure from rejecting women who pursue me or ask me out. I usually flirt or lead them on as well.
Oh, you little flirt. You scamp. You rapscallion. I'm sure they love it. I'm sure you get so many responses and it's awesome. I'm morbidly curious about what subreddit this was originally posted in.
I don't want to feel like this, but I can't stop. I've been talking to a therapist about it, but so far it hasn't helped.
Yeah, it's like the humblest brags. Yeah, chicks ask me out all the time and I just reject them, and I love to reject them. But I'm talking to a therapist about it, so you know it's totally real. I could give you my therapist's email if you wanted it. And then you look at the paper and the email is the same as his username at AOL.com. You sure this is your therapist? You sure you're not trying to ruse me right now? OP does get a reply, and this person comes in with flaming justice. Store employee. Sir, can I help you find anything? OP.
Heavy breathing. No.
Store employee. Okay, have a good day. OP.
That bitch totally wants me.
Yeah, I brushed her off. Who's the alpha now? What are you even talking about? He's like, you just want to go with Chad. And she's like, who the hell is Chad? Actually, probably, Zoomers and shit are probably way more tuned into that stuff. My millennial peers, especially in the Philippines, they don't know what the hell all that is. It's kind of refreshing. Anyway, on to the next post. A kid at my school putting out a PSA on his Snapchat story as spring approaches.
Okay, ladies, it's a school, not a cat house. We get it. It's 10 degrees warmer than most days. The whole school shouldn't have to deal with nausea because y'all can't dress like normal freaking people.
Damn, dude. Honestly, part of me wants to say, yeah, pretty based, but the other part of me knows, he's a teenage boy. You're really only lashing out like this because you know there's no chance that you're ever going to get any of it ever. And since that's the case, you want to ruin the show for everybody else? Come on. Come on. I remember those days in high school. It was some of the favorite seasons.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
It's the reason you show up some days, you know what I mean? Probably you don't know what I mean. Early 2000s high school was a really different time. Anyway,
1, get a room!
Gladly.
2, get some freaking school-appropriate clothes. Maybe something that keeps your cheeks in your pants.
That's pretty funny. This guy dropping harsh home truths out here, you know?
3, just be normal. Guys do not look at a whore and think, girlfriend material, I'm gonna marry her, because we're not actually freaking idiots. We know that if you dress like that, you got 2 weeks on a relationship before your cheeks are out again.
He's kind of killing it for real, though.
It's just repulsive as fuck, and I'm speaking for everyone.
I know a lot of it's born from a place of resentment, and that makes it slightly less based, but on the based-o-meter, yeah, I think it passes. It was really number 3 that pulled me around. He's like, yeah, got 2 weeks of that relationship. Then your cheeks are out again. He's too right, though. He's a little savage, but he's too right, though. We'll move on. How do you go 62 days without taking a shower? Well, first step, you don't get in the shower for 62 days. Probably you feel awful afterwards. The 10th dentist. That's an interesting subreddit. But this OP posts over there, it says, Axe body spray is a good alternative to taking showers. Hot take, yeah. Spicy take, I'll say.
It stings the nostrils.
What difference does it make? You still smell good either way, but dousing some Axe body spray on is much faster and lasts just as long if you use enough.
Yeah, right before you either incinerate or suffocate yourself because of all the alcohol in the room. Did you see that episode? I saw a YouTube thing where somebody stuff like that. If you're using more than a spritz or two, please don't even use a spritz or two, okay? Just go get in the shower. Spend, 15, 20 minutes scrubbing around. It has a magical quality to it. You need to give yourself over to it. Opie continues,
I know you need shampoo, but you could use dry shampoo and be done with it too.
First time one of my Euro friends used dry shampoo in front of me, my mouth was agape. I had no idea that was even an option. Well, for me it's not still, because it seems really gross. But yeah, maybe it works. I don't know. You guys got any experience with that? Probably not. My audience largely US. But we sort of Mr. Worldwide. Let me know if you're out there. Dry shampoo, yay or nay?
I strongly prefer Axe body spray to taking a shower.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
It's gotta be bait. Come on.
I've gone as long as 62 days without taking one, and nobody said anything.
Yeah, probably because they couldn't breathe.
As long as I used enough Axe before going out. To be honest, I think we waste too much time taking showers.
It really doesn't take that much time. The only comment included in the screenshot is somebody coming into the thread and saying, what the actual fuck? Yes, over 2 months and no water has touched my body. I mean, I guess people do it, like in the dark ages and stuff. It's probably not gonna kill you, maybe? Unless you get an open wound on your foot. Probably you want to be clean all the time. Like, what reason is there not to be? Time? That's your reason? Shower time is nice. Get in there, put on some music, Give yourself a little shampoo mohawk. It's you time. This guy's you time is just, rotting in front of the computer. Which I relate to on some level, but at least I can do it comfortably. Well showered and freshly laundered, Much better way to rot, honestly. And get rid of the fucking Axe body spray. It doesn't smell good like you think it does. I don't know who told you it did. Probably just advertising. Fibonacci Beard has entered the building. Look at this guy. That is an amazing mustache that does follow the Fibonacci sequence. Loops around to his chin, up past his ear, and into his hair. If you're listening to this only via audio, I feel sorry for you in this moment. We'll move past it relatively quickly anyways into one titled School Safety. And it's got a profile picture, a guy with a leather trench coat and a sword slung over his shoulder. My God, he looks so cool. He definitely studied the blade. He said, after all the shootings, I now work security at Ballard High School with a broadsword. I don't even get paid for it. I just stand in the parking lot with a sword. Honestly, pretty sick. Maybe not all that much of a deterrent, but pretty sick. Then again, if a guy's standing with a sword in broad daylight, you don't know what's under the trench coat, He's definitely gonna make some people think twice, that's what I know. They should pay him. Like everybody in the school just goes and throws nickels at him at lunchtime. And that's how he gets paid, but it's also like their ritual to thank him. And also, little public humiliation. We just don't want him to be the coolest one here. That's the reason we have to humiliate him. Pecking order in that. Anyway, how to get players to shower. Magic the Lathering keeps your mana clean. Dude, I like it. I would buy Magic the Lathering soap. I'm such a sucker for dumb crap like this. You know exactly how to get me. You could probably make it yourself. Really, it's just a package and like a generic soap bar, I'm sure. But maybe it does say Wizards of the Coast on it. And if that's the case, I want to rub that part against my fudge hole. This is what I think of you. Stinky, stinky. Now we're going overboard. Good God. Here's something that'll definitely keep us balanced. It's a Lucas Werner post. And I watch a lot of Walter Fate stuff, Fatal Walter stuff about this guy, but I've never covered him myself. I believe this is the first time his face will ever be shown on my channel, and this is our introduction. What a date with me is like. And he's just leering over what looks like a enchilada taco combo platter. What is this look supposed to be? I don't think this is seduction. With just one photo, one simple meme, you've basically guaranteed that you'll never get a date. If that's what a date with you is like, nobody's gonna go. Nobody! Just chicken hawk things. Peter Sweden says, due to a severe lack of free speech and democracy in the UK, I've now moved to Norway. Then he says, what happened to the brave Englishmen of 70 years ago? Men who bravely stormed beaches on D-Day and willingly ran into a hail of bullets. Today they mass panic and cause a stampede in Oxford Circus over literally nothing. Years of liberalism has turned people into wusses. This is a very good story in like 3 short tweets. And now we reach the conflict and the resolution. As Peter says, I just got a letter from the Norwegian army. They want me to sign up for military duty. In Norway, all men and women have military duty. No thanks. Not happy about this. I mean, they offered you citizenship. Shouldn't you do your duty at least a little bit? What conflicts is Norway embroiled in anyways? It's probably going to be fine. Are you just like a conscientious objector? Except, I guess, when it involves dredging up the memory of people from World War II. You're like, yeah, what happened to those guys? They all turned into people like you, is what happened. I've been willing to fight and die for what I believe in. Problem is, most wars aren't what I believe in. They're just like, yeah, these politicians disagree, so you guys gotta go shoot each other. I don't think that sounds like a very good deal. All those politicians sitting up there in their ivory tower, they're cut from the same cloth that Peter Sweden is. They want to drudge up old memories and be like, you could be just like this guy. Just do whatever we tell you to. I don't think I'm going to. This is one of those cases where you should have read the fine print when you accepted the citizenship, I guess. Anyway, moving on. This one titled, How to Seduce a Woman 101. Oh yeah, get out your notepads, fellas. This is an exceedingly young-looking woman with what I presume is her niece or nephew. Probably not a child, but 11 people like the photo. It's a cute photo. And then Creeper got to get in here and make it weird. Now this I can fap to. You crawled off of 4chan, decided to log into Facebook so you could do whatever the hell this is supposed to be. Nobody's signing off on this.
Disgusting pervert! That's absolutely unacceptable.
And then she responds and says, ew. And he says, consider it a compliment. You're adorable. And she says, thanks, but no thanks. Yeah, not even thanks, honestly. Just hell no. And of course, he's got to get the last laugh, and he posts a meme that says, well, screw this. I'm gonna go watch anime. Yeah, that's sort of what made you like this in the first place, isn't it? You might want to rethink that a little bit, buddy. It's not a good direction. That's a long, dark road you're headed down, and I don't know that you're ready to complete the quest. This is like the evil quest, you know? You choose your own alignment. And yeah, I guess he certainly did. This OP says, this was in my local game store's bathroom, which is actually kind of nice. Got some Listerine, some Lynx, I don't know, some shampoo or something back there. Is that dry shampoo that I was talking about? It makes sense because it's Lynx. So, you know, European toiletries, you gotta have the dry shampoo in there. It says, please only use if necessary. Consider the other nerds in the store. Gamers World. That is so thoughtful. I would not be quick to put any of those things near my body or in my mouth especially, but it's really nice that you offered them, is what I'm going to say. I appreciate that. Now, if only the stinky people in the store had, like, the self-reflection to identify that they need to be the ones using it. Or maybe you could just bring it out of the bathroom and spray him with it like a little prank, you know? Haha, now you don't smell like shit anymore. It's kind of a cool prank, honestly. Anyway, we're moving on. My brother found a comic that I drew in high school in his used textbook, and I wanted to share. Two neckbeards leaving a restaurant, m'lady cleaning tables, and then they say, "Oh, almost forgot the tip, m'lady," and they tip their fedoras. She looks very disappointed. You thought that she was going to get money. But some things are worth even more than money. And other things still are worth far, far less. It's up to you to decide what that is worth to you. Here's some more wonderful art. You guys inspired me to create true art. And true art this is. Kawaii or die.
Huh, pretty good. Made me use up 10% of my power. Try to keep up.
I would love for this to be like a baddie in a video game or something. The current baddie that I have in the game I'm working on is nowhere near this defined. We all take artistic liberties in our own way. I like your way of doing things way better. I just don't think I'm capable of it. So good job, OP. Anyway, moving on.
It's always the fault of m'lady. What brings you to Tindertown then?
Oh god, I love doing r/Tinder. Have you watched those videos? They're not as big as the Neckbeard Nice Guy stuff, but you do get some Neckbeards and Nice Guys in there, that's for sure. Here he comes.
What's your favorite sci-fi, smiley face? I support the tiny mustache man. He did nothing wrong. I'm gonna legally change my name to his.
And they says horrible things that I won't really repeat about women, blacks, gays, Jews, and cripples. And he says,
hint for not getting harassed by your next match. Either unmatch if you have no intentions of messaging or don't like them. Ghosting bitches like you are the reason that incels exist.
No, your own lack of motivation is the reason that folk like you exist. Notice how in this instance you wish to be separate from them, because it's not something anyone should aspire to. Anyway, OP says, I have a life, and I don't check Tinder every 5 seconds, so you and other people might have to wait a day or two for a reply. Interestingly, you're the only person that spewed maltreatment at me, so I can only imagine that you are single due to your personality rather than your looks. Incels exist because they're either not intelligent enough or mature enough to realize that women do not exist solely to entertain them, and judging by your reaction, you are a card-carrying member. Honestly, could have gone a little bit harder on the gas there, but you laid it down pretty flat. I don't think he's going to hear you about any of that, though. He'll continue going on, thinking that there are elves in his phone meant to entertain him. Because, yeah, he's not going to set up a first date. If you matched him for his looks, as was implied in the message, I'm pretty sure he catfished you a little bit. Check out the Patreon or YouTube memberships if you would. I thank you so much. We've also got a fourth wall where you can pick up some merch if you should like. If you ain't got the funds, that's fine, man. Share the video around, though, maybe. Help me out, you know? You could like the thing, you could leave a comment, but shares, I mean, word of mouth is really the biggest thing ever. I appreciate you regardless. I want you to always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye.
Nani baka, nani baka, nani baka, nani baka, nani baka. Sunlight glinting on Nippon steel, folded 1,000 times, can cut through any argument, defeating illogical crimes. Dew drifting down from the heavens, settling on my blade. I quest higher into the mountains. baka, nani baka, nani baka. Come to me, my true waifu, my slayer of the titans. Instead she speaks the sacred words and the phrase that frightens. You do know that two is a kind. You must leave this world, you have to die. I chug my flask of Mountain Dew and draw my blade for Sudoku. Nani baka, nani baka, nani baka, nani baka, nani baka. The battle rages on and on until I draw my final breath. Then I catch the glint of euphoria as I fall into my death. Through the power of God and anime, I gain the tendies in my wrath. In this moment